Hi everyone, and welcome to Super Sunday on the Asa and Tom Show. Tonight we'll be joined by top blokes Asa McGrath and Tom Clark, who will give us their unique spin on the Sunday grind as we reach the finale of this week's squads and roller events. We'll also have the final round of Turbo Millionaire at 11, with Rob Sundell's sitting in the box seat with 5 right in a super fast time. Okay, belt in everyone. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Lee, we've just had the pre-show meeting with the guys, and it was chaos.
Absolutely. What have we done?
There's two of them.
What have we done? Honestly, we thought we'll hand the show over. It'll be in safe hands. We'll get Asa and Tom on. What could possibly go wrong? They've done no prep, Des.
There's no prep.
Nothing.
They're talking across each other. I mean, I can't even understand Tom, and nobody was talking at the same time.
Absolutely. Do you know what we should do? Let's just get them on.
Get them on.
And we'll see how it goes.
Then we
Evening,
can.
boys. How are we doing?
Evening.
Evening, everyone.
Evening, lads. Great to have you back. Great to have you back. And of course, we're having a bit of a laugh, as you'd expect, in our first show ever with, I think, 4 people on it. That's going to be so cool. But what we want you to do is to, be in control. Tell us, what you want, which tables you want, which events you'd like to go to, all of that good stuff. And we're going to work for you tonight. Lee and I will work for you. Now, for periods of the time, we're going to be sipping a few shandies, right? We've got a plan, a virtual pub. So we might be doing a bit of that. But you're in control, boys. Enjoy it.
Will do. It'll be going to be fun.
Well, fun might be pushing it a bit, but have you been through your friends list yet, guys? Who are we going to random call to surprise?
Oh.
Yeah, we might do one of those later, guys. We'll have to wait and see. But listen, we do have some big events on tonight, Lee. What are we looking at first?
So, let's just talk through what we've got. It's Sunday night, so it's the finale of Poker Squads. 161 runners in the Sunday Deep Stack. We've got 82 remaining on that, so that's got a little bit to go yet. 24 players are getting paid in that. But obviously, we're going to head straight across to the Sunday Roller. 90 runners in that. We're down to 12, so the money bubble burst as we were about to go on air. We've got a prize pool of $3,755. There is $995. I might even throw $5 in myself just to make it $1,000 up top. We'll go with that. So we've got 12 players left. So we're going to get straight over to a table because it's a cracking lineup, guys, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, the roller tables there's a cracking field in them.
So what we've done, guys, is we've put up table 9. That is with Rich Baker, Brian Harland. We've got Dan Austin on there, Lee Mulligan, Craig Dawson, and Joe Broberg. So that's our opening table.
So Brian is currently chip leader, but Natalie Bromley is very close behind. And actually, Natalie's been chip leader for most of the last hour, I would say, of this tournament. Joe Chilmain's been up there as well. Rich Baker's been up on chips, and Craig Dawson's been gradually doing what Craig Dawson does, guys, I guess. Yeah, just slowly but surely building a chip stack, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. That's his normal game. Brian won a massive hand on the bubble. Kings versus Ace King suited versus Ace Queen, all in pre, which propelled him from 200 to 600k, more or less.
This is the time of the tournament you want to do that sort of thing, isn't it?
God, yeah. Absolutely. Rich Baker survived a chop with me when he had 20-something K left. When I had him dominated, and he's gone on from there.
But you're okay.
Sounds kinky. That's a little kinky, that.
And he's gone on from there to crush quite a few people. And Joe used my chips wisely when she took them all.
I was briefly on a table with Joachim and Dan Austin earlier on. It didn't last very long for me, but glad to see both have made the final and made the cash. So for the final part of the tournament, anyway. So So Joe's saying she's struggling with a bit of sound. Everyone else seems to think it's okay though. So just get Jason to put another 50p in the meter and go and make you a cup of tea, and it will be all right.
It's not Jason. Jason's gone. Jason's gone, Lee. So had you
Well,
not heard?
She's turned the volume up.
Yeah, turn the volume up. Yeah, no, Jason's gone. He's been replaced by a new bloke. A new bloke with a really sort of tight haircut. There were pictures on the line today. It looked amazing. Completely different chap. Couldn't be Jason. I just hope he knows how to make a cuppa.
It looks like one of those, you know, the kind of photo fix that doesn't actually look like a real person.
I reckon he's a bot. What do you think? A bot? How could
that be? Oh dear, yeah. So just the blinds are 6,000 and 12,000. Average stack is about just over 300,000. There's loads of play in this, isn't there?
Yeah, there's loads, and for some reason in the hand I'm just watching, Joe has just shoved his entire stack pre-flop.
Yeah, he went straight into Dan Housen's big blind, wasn't it?
And then he did it the hand after and get straight into Brian's big blind.
And now he's just min raised the following hand. Yeah.
And Dan's all in.
Dan's shoved.
Surely going to get a call, isn't he?
Got to, really.
I think so. 8-3-4.
He's got a 4. Wow.
He's got there.
Run like down.
Unlike Vince.
Very nice, man. Nice double.
Yeah, nothing wrong with either of those 8s and 4s. I'm certainly in Dan's situation stack wise. You wouldn't want Dan to start getting a stack here, though, would you? Deep in this type of tournament.
No, definitely not. He's certainly one of the most aggressive players I've come across in the APAT game. Pretty tricky to handle, and we're going again, it seems. So
it's Craig this time.
Is Dan going to call here?
So a lot of his...
No,
I don't think so. Next question, Tom. Next question. Yeah.
That is Dan going, I've got chips. I want to start asserting my dominance on the table.
Yeah. The problem for Dan is that actually there's a lot of really, how would I say, leader-like players. They're not going to be pushed around by Dan on this table.
Oh, Don just made a flush on the other table against Natalie Brown. Yeah, Don had a flush on the river, so Don's to hold up to just over 250k.
Yeah, it's a bit of a dent into Natalie's stack, but she still was one of the big stacks. We're still third in chips, so plenty of play left for her.
Yeah, the one good thing is, as we did seem to lose quite a lot of people pre-bubble very quickly. There's a lot of chips in play.
It's made us straight.
Oh dear.
It's going to be one of those nights, boys.
I was going to say. Yeah.
Get it in there.
This is going to be crazy. Wow, Kings and Ace 3. Wow.
But, yeah, it's a bit of a strange reshove, but.
I mean, I guess it's a case if you've been card dead and you're not seeing much, and all of a sudden you go, okay, I'm gonna take my chance here. I've made the money. Min cash is $122, so you're in the money now. End of the day, there's not massive difference. It's a kind of double your money for a 5th place finish, so it's 262 for a 5th. But ultimately, you want to be in the top 5.
I've just lost Dan.
Dan's ace 5 not strong enough against Brian's ace jack.
Brian's definitely. Go on.
I'll say down to 11 players now. Then, so still 9th to 12th are all still picking up 122. So it's not a money jump now till the final table. So. So what do you do now here if you're Lee in this situation? You've got clearly aggressive players on the table. You're the shortest stack.
Yeah, I think with Lee's stack, you just need to get it in. You can't really afford to raise fold. Yeah, I mean, you've still got 15 bigs, so you can pick a spot, but you just kind of need to go with it.
I think from what we've seen tonight, it'll be get it in first and hope to hell you win. That's as much as you can do.
I'll get it in bad and win.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Get it in first. Someone wakes up behind you with a bigger hand, there's nothing you can do. So.
No, I mean, I guess Lee will also be looking because there are 2 players on the other table that have got shorter stacks than him. So he's not, he's not the shorty in the tournament at the moment.
Yeah, like I say, even the other 2 have still got just over 10 bigs as well. So again, it's a lot of this will depend on have they bought in, have they qualified for $5? You know, are they looking at a ladder to the final table?
Yeah, there's also no pay jump until the final table anyway, so. I'm trying to lose my stacking squads, it's not happening. Just like...
What you've got to do, Tom, is bluff it off on with 10 high, which is what I did.
Oh, I can see the value of APAT just plummeting, Lee. It's just plummeting as we speak.
So we brought on 2 absolute quality APAT players that are talking about how to do a stack. Yeah,
that's right. Just get him in blind.
To be fair, it was 5, 6, 7 board, and I got called by 8 high.
Which was good, yeah?
Yeah, oh God, yeah, absolutely. But the way I played it, I couldn't have had anything. I must have hit the board, and he still called.
Ah, right. So he saw through your bluff tactics, yeah.
I check raised him on the flop, and then shoved the turn, which was a 2, I think, and he still called.
Well, we've just jammed and been called in the squads, and we're gone.
Hey. 12 minutes, mate. Well done.
Yeah. Jammed King 5 ran into 10s and then lost her set.
Rich has just won a very nice pot off Joe. Ace Queen versus Queens.
I'm just trying to. I suppose the ace stops it from all going in. I guess, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think was it King on the flop as well from memory. Can't remember now. Yeah, it's that interesting time now, isn't it? We're just getting to the final table bubble. And there's going to be the movers and shakers.
Do you know a good trick that Lee uses all of the time is he looks at the live stream about 30 seconds after the hand has happened. So if he's missed details of a hand, you get them about 30 seconds later.
Unless you were watching last night.
Oh, forget that. Forget that. He's still watching for that hand to play out.
I'm still watching last night's stream, actually.
Oh, that was hilarious.
What was going on?
I still missed it. Even knowing that, I still managed to miss it.
I tell you, I'm sure I've had a couple of shows where we've had guests on, and I could swear that they're actually watching the live tables, and I'm ahead of me, and I'm like thinking, how are they knowing what's happening before I've seen it? And I'm watching it live on Party Poker, and I'm thinking, what's going on here? This is just. But even Party Poker can sometimes lag, can't it? And it does a little catch-up thing, which is just a bit weird. The internet for you.
Yes.
We've learned a lot about the internet over the last, I think Sean said 80, is it 84 days today?
Is it really?
84 days of lockdown?
Wow.
I have no idea, but we've learned a lot about the internet. We've learned a bit about calling hands and bluffing our lines and stuff like that, I have to say. Yeah,
I still can't live down the one where I said I'm about to knock GMAC out and then the river hit. Live on the show. It's like, yeah, okay. Maybe I won't talk about live hands again. I'm saying genuinely disappointed that Rob just missed the money, because I think I must have had a percentage in for handing my chips to him last night in the feeder, but. He finished in 14th place.
So Rob came away with what, about 47,000 or something like that?
Oh, what the
last in the feeder?
Yeah,
about 47.
Yeah.
Now,
and he ended up 14th, so just missed.
Okay. Oh, that's unlucky.
Yeah.
That is unlucky.
Yeah.
It's been a great little tournament. This, I have to say. I think this was a really nice idea. The the roller. I really liked the phase entry to it.
The stats are really fun.
Yeah.
And that's the idea, is you want it to be fun. It's been a really weird week though, because there wasn't really a big stack starting this. I don't think. I think there was only a couple that had like 75,000, whereas we've normally got a couple of people that have got 100. I think we've had 140,000 one week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a 70,000. I managed to scrape through the last turbo.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, 52.
Do people like the?
Good
Because
shape.
I can put more of the turbos on a Sunday if people,
I did.
or even every night of the week if people, quite like playing the turbo where it's done in 50 minutes.
Seeing as I got through, yes, I like it.
Okay, yeah.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. It was pretty enjoyable.
But so the question I guess I'd ask then is does it feel like there's a little bit of play in it, or does it feel just like you're pretty much just chucking your chips in and hoping, or do you feel in that 15 minutes you get a chance to play a bit of poker? Because if you don't, to me, then there's no point, because if it's just a case of it's pretty much all in every hand or that sort of feel to it, then there's no point. But if actually you feel, well, actually, yeah, it's 50 minutes and actually I can get a stack in 50 minutes, I need to run good, but I can actually play a bit of poker, then they're worth doing.
Yeah, definitely. I had 5k in level 11. And
okay, wow, that's pretty good then. So in like 5 levels you spent.
I ran ridiculously good from then on. Someone shoved in my big blind when I had aces. He had kings, just one of those spots to double me up. Then someone again shoved when I had an ace in the big blind and I held. There is still a bit of obviously it is being more turbo. There is a bit more flexibility in how people are going to play the tournament, but there's still enough of the game so you can actually make informed decisions.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, maybe we'll look to add one on later on in the night on during the week, maybe, because we have a 9 o'clock normal one. Maybe we should do a 10 o'clock turbo as well to kind of end the night, because I'm not sure that the 2 o'clock ones will be that popular when people start going back to work. So
yeah, that's true. And especially if we still keep getting enough people for the 9 o'clock, there are going to be quite a few people who do bust before 10.
Yes, so
and then you've got another chance.
Yeah. Well, the other option, of course, is you offer one re-entry into these and treat them as that. But I've always kind of been a bit against that, because my feeling is, especially when you're playing with short numbers, you often then get resat where you bust.
Yeah,
I always think that's a little bit weird when you bust from a table and then you re-enter and you sat down literally on the same seat that you were just sat on, looking at the person you've just given your remaining stack to, and you're down with a new stack. It doesn't really feel right to me.
Yeah, if you run them regular enough, you don't really need a re-entry anyway. So.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's probably a better way of doing it. Just on the other table, Ace Jack versus King Queen of Philip Baker and Peter Monroe. Ace Jack is good, so we lose Philip Baker in 11th on the other table, so we're down to 10 now.
Peter's had a really good run. He was on my starting table earlier.
He's actually been very consistent since we've kind of gone through the lockdown games. Plays very consistently on the squads game as well.
Yeah, I'll be honest, there's very few people I didn't know before the squad started. But Peter is one that I've actually got starred as. Just keep an eye out for this guy.
He's a troublemaker.
Yeah, he's a
troublemaker. He gave me an hour of absolute panic last week because I confirmed all the details for squads, and then he messaged me and he said, "I think you've got something wrong. I think we've won."
Oh my God!
I'm thinking, what? He said, "You're missing some of my scores," and I'm thinking, "What? You're kidding me." So I've gone back and looked and gone, well, no, I've got 7 scores in for Peter. Well, maybe he means one of his other teammates or something. So I've messaged him back and he's not answered for about an hour. And by this point, Party are allocating the $T to all the players. And I'm thinking, so I'm like, well, that's all gone. I'm thinking, well, I still can't. So I'll wait. And eventually he came back. He said, oh, no, my mistake. He said, I forget you only count the top 3 scores, not all 7. But you just have that minute of, have I done something wrong? I don't think I have, but like...
It's quite interesting to hear from Rich from limping from the button.
Yeah, is that something you guys would do or not really?
No.
So why not? So why is it a bad move?
In this situation, with a short, a relatively short stack in the big blind, you want to put as much pressure on as possible. And that's not to say that Rich isn't trying to trap or get a raise out of Joe. I just don't see the value in it as much. If Lee does shove back with a big hand, that happens. But more times often than not, you're going to get 2 folds and 3 chips.
Oh, he's got lucky there on the river,
Yeah,
isn't it?
he wins the hand. Oh, another all-in on the other table.
Ace-10 versus Kings.
Mr. Don Roberts holds.
And Don Roberts' Kings are good, which means we lose Daniel Weaver in 10th place. Don's now up to 510,000. He's really timed it right to start building second in chips.
And 2 short stacks on the same table. And one shoved into the other.
Yeah, so it's Lee and Craig are the 2 shorties now, and we only need to lose 1 more before we're on the final table.
I just
so
flipped
we will be
over.
playing hand for hand. Yeah.
Just flipped over to that table, guys, so we can watch a couple of hands there if you fancy.
Yeah, go for it.
Excellent. As I say, we'll be playing hand for hand now as we're down to 9. So this is the first of the money jumps, but it's only a little one. So
all the guys on this table will be no doubt aware of the stack sizes on the other table, I'd imagine.
So when you guys get down to this point in the tournament, do you normally have the other table open so you can see what's going on? Or are you just looking at the lobby? How do you manage it?
For me, it all depends on how many tables I'm playing, to be honest. If it's like this, where say I'm down to just this one table, then yeah, I'll absolutely have the other table open. Not so much to watch what the other players are doing, but just keep an eye on the stack sizes and see what's happening. If I've got a marginal hand and see an all-in and a call on the other table, I can actually think about it.
Yeah, it's easy. Obviously, it's easier to manage that in an online environment than trying to do it but you see it. I mean, you see it live all the time, don't you? Players are watching getting over to other tables to see what's going on, and
there's an all-in and a call on the other table. Hold on. No. The table we got up, they're all relatively similar stacks. They're all fairly comfortable. I can't see, unless there's like aces versus kings or something like that, I can't see them going hell for leather. Craig shoved into Lee this time. The other table, all right, gets through.
So Adam says, doesn't matter if turbo feeders are just all-in spots. There's enough of a strategy to make it worth it. If you're playing a turbo, you shouldn't be expected to play down the streets. So that's
absolutely
fairly good. Nice to see you on the stream, Adam. Hope you're well.
He's well. He had a very, very good cash day yesterday.
Oh, did he? Excellent.
After having a very bad one the day before.
Well, that's how it works.
Guys, my connection dropped out there.
You're back in the room, Tom, yeah?
Yeah, my connection dropped out.
Des, you did pay for the extra internet connection up to Scotland, didn't you? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, we did that. Yeah. I paid for a little one. I said a small one. Asa and a small one. That's what I said.
50p in the meter.
Oh, we've just had a legend join the chat room.
Ah, Richard Prue.
Yes.
His tightness is amongst us.
Should bow down to the tightness.
Busiest man in poker.
Oh God.
I'm sure it's probably non-stop at the moment with everything that's going on, right?
Well, I think he spends most of his time having to explain to party poker players why this or that's happening. That seems to be the general thing in the UK community for him. It's the man has patience abound. I'm not sure whether I would be able to cope with that. It's the same thing over and over again.
Did we lose anyone else?
No, 9 left, so 4-handed and 5-handed, just playing hand for hand, waiting for one more to go before we get to the final table. Obviously, it's a great spot for Brian at the moment on the other table, because obviously he's got serious, decent chip lead, and he's got the 2 shorties on his table. It's hard, the one we're watching. I mean, what do the guys do? They've all got similar-ish sorts of stacks. Really, they just want one of the other shorties to bust, get 8-handed again, and then go again, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I say, unless there's two big hands here, I can't see anyone going from that table.
No,
As I say, that Natalie shows.
Oh, I so just wanted a call there. Just we're doing perfect.
Is it too late to get the lovely Jeff Talbot on? Lee, what do you think? Let's get him on.
Jeff Talbot on, crikey.
He knows what he's talking about. Look at his record in recent weeks.
Wow, it's
he's running.
Eat my stacker having a cracking cracking week this week. I don't know how close they're going to be to your points tally from, was it week? Can you work it out? Was it week 2 or something like that? Or
I think it was maybe week 3. Maybe it was pretty early on during lockdown. I was like,
Natalie,
Natalie,
I'm doing my utmost best not to say anything about you, really. So what happens is, ever since lockdown, whenever I come on, so I've got a WhatsApp chat with the Bromleys, and whenever I go on there, how are you guys doing? They'll literally go, well, we've just bust, because I just seem to block them every time I ask how they're getting on. So I try not to say anything, or when she said that she was chip leader in this, I was like, I'm not going to even comment. I'm just going to keep quiet.
Yeah, Lee's now sub 100k.
Yeah, so with blinds at 8,000, 16,000, and he's in the small blind here. See whether it gets round to him. This is on the other table. Does he shove into Brian a big stack? He does.
Yeah,
Brian's
going to come out.
Oh, is it?
Check the queen.
Lee had Queen Jack, and he turned to Queen. So Lee gets a double up on the other table, which is not what this table wanted to see, really, is it?
I'm sure Mr. Dawson would be doing what I was doing at this point, which would be swearing at the table, going, "What the?"
Yeah, because the trouble is, obviously now Craig is. I mean, he's not got that much less than Lee actually still now, but obviously, yeah, as a shorty, when you see the other short stack kind of double up, you're thinking, right, okay, now next time it'll be my turn, and it doesn't always work out that way, does it?
No. If one person does know how to play a short stack, it is Craig. He's very, very good short stack, and to be honest, he's just very, very good.
Yeah,
he knows his stuff.
So, guys, I don't know if you noticed in the chat box, but Joe put out a request earlier on looking for a player to possibly join the team from next week, and I think Steve has seen the light in the sky. And he's come in and he said, "It could be me. I can do that."
Has he filled out the application form?
I suspect he has a few times now, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I think they should do it. I think they should bury the hatchet and do it.
I got a message last night saying my place was under threat because my school was holding Steve's this week. So.
Dear, oh dear. But you guys it's been the same since the start, hasn't
it? Yeah, pretty much. I don't think we went to the team the first week, did we? I'm not sure. I think it was maybe like the first week or two that we did enter a team.
Oh, it's all right. Joe's decided they're going to keep you, Tom. You're all right.
Okay.
But I see this as a possible opportunity. We've got a call, Jack 9 and Ace Deuce, and we're going to lose Lee, the Ace Deuce. Joe hit to the Jack on the flop on the other table, so we're going to lose Lee Mulligan. And as soon as this hand plays out, we will get a final table.
Oh, that's of course.
So they're going to play this weird one more hand thing. I don't quite understand why.
Yeah, sometimes that's more than one more hand, because I've bust these before in these situations where you actually bust the final table, but you've not made the final table.
That's the finish, and it's good. They're playing another one on the other table.
Weird.
it's so weird. I don't understand why, because
And they're playing another hand.
and they're all folding because they're all waiting to get onto the final table. So
What
they
the-
just keep folding round. I'd imagine now this one's now finished on what we
Oh, there we
so
go.
here we go. So hopefully Des will do his magic and make sure it's up for us. So we've got a
Certainly
final
is.
table. Let's quickly run through who we've got. So chip leader on the final table now is Joachim Peter Broberg with 846,000. Brian Harlan 771,000. Natalie Bromley is got just shy of 500,000. Joe Chilmade 448,000. Peter Monroe with 345,000. Don Roberts has made the final table with 319,000. Richard Baker on 291,000. Our short stack, Craig Dawson just all in there. First hand is 208,000. Also added to that now. Who you fancy for this now, guys?
Careful now.
If I want to stay in a team, I'll stay Joe. If I don't want to stay in a team, Brian, maybe even like Don was in my table earlier on. He's been pretty solid all day as well. Natalie's got a decent stack. If Richard gets a double, he's going to be a threat. On the ball. Yeah, definitely Brian.
Can I? I was going to say, Brian does seem to be picking up the big hands exactly when he needs them.
Yeah.
Which is always nice.
So Natalie says, huge shout out to two girls on the final table. Joe said, we did indeed. And Joe came back with girl power and all of that. There we go. Come on, the girls. That tune was for you guys at the start. Did you hear that?
Definitely heard it.
Yeah, we lost the jazz intro. I don't know what was going on there.
Well, I thought tonight had to be a bit special.
Just promoting the chaos in advance.
Quite right.
Yeah, well, so yeah, just as you kind of called Brian, so obviously he's added to his stack there now, and is in a nice position. So pay jumps now. So we've 7 left. So guys are guaranteed $160. Then I'll just read out the top 3. Third place is $488. Second is $694, and top prize tonight is $995 plus 5 Wiltshire dollars to make it 1,000. So
fantastic. Very nice.
One good thing is there's going to be a hell of a lot of play on this table, I think. There's so many chips in play. And as Adam's just mentioned in the chat box, good luck getting those chips from Brian.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So, another one. Don's going to double up.
Go with the dog.
House.
Richard Lineski has said, where is Kai? Kai Hutchinson. That's a good point. Has he been on tonight?
no.
So unlike Kai, I hope he's safe.
He might be back at work tomorrow.
I was going to say,
That could well be. That could well be.
I know the primary school where my mother works went back last week. Very, very weird scenarios. They've basically got just 2 year groups in, spread across the entire school.
Oh, wow.
That's what they've had to do.
That's
what
very
they've been
spread out.
Yep, that's what they've been told to do. So basically, they've got their own individual bubbles of teachers and children, and they cannot interact with any of the other bubbles at any time.
Fair enough. I mean, if they can get that message through to the kids, happy days.
Yeah, she teaches 5-year-olds.
Oh
so
my
it
God.
doesn't really happen.
It's going to be the hardest part.
Yeah. But it's obviously they are containing within those bubbles very, as much as they can. So literally dinner times, break times, everything. It's just that bubble. They don't see any of the other children any of the day at all.
I think they should have employed strong magnets. And ankle bracelets. I think that could work.
Des loves a good ankle bracelet.
Well, it is Salford, yes. So I suppose so.
I was going to say, is that Salford or Ireland?
Salford, who officially had the third highest rate of COVID-19 in the country.
Did it really? Wow.
And the actual, something that I read today was the actual small part of Salford where I live is the highest part of Salford with the most instances of COVID-19.
My God, are we safe? Are we safe to be on the, can we catch it through the airwaves?
Yeah, no, we're good because I balance it off because I think Dorset was like the third lowest. Well, it was the third lowest till everybody started to come to the beach. So we were okay for a while, but yeah, we balance it out on the call. Excellent. I think so. We're okay.
We like balance. Balance is good. Balance is good.
So, I mean, how are you guys sort of playing a final table like this? If you've got a middling stack like a sort of Don's stack, are you just kind of letting a little bit of the action go by and get a few more players laddering up a little bit, or are you just looking to go for the win? What's your style?
I think Don's got a bit of an awkward position because his button is Brian's big blind, and I think Brian's going to give up pretty easily. So you need to kind of just like find spots from the cut off, and then. But
I mean, whose seat would you who obviously Brian's got a decent chip stack, but who would you say has got a nice seat draw here? From a position point of view.
Richard, because he's on the left of Craig.
I quite like Joe's position.
Yeah, good say.
Yeah, Joe's got a good.
Go on, mate.
Joe's got a good seat, and Brian's got Craig on his left. Yeah, Joe's probably got the best seat draw on the table.
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
She's also in good form, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like smashing it.
It's weird because for me, I don't mind raising into a big blind. Someone like Brian.
Here we go.
There we go. Joe's going to take out Richard.
Yeah, we're going to lose Rich. Nice hand.
For me, very nice. I don't mind raising into someone with a big stat like Brian's because for me, I know they're going to defend a bit lighter.
Yeah.
And that can give me chances for a c-bet in flops where even if I miss, the odds on are that I'm still going to be ahead. I also, in this spot, the one thing that will work, in my opinion, is a 3-bet pre, because if you're going to get your 3-bet pre here is going to look absolutely massively strong at any point. You don't have to 3-bet shove. If you 3-bet pre, it looks massive compared to anyone else.
Just on that, with Don's stack, like if he raises Brian's big blind and Brian 3-bets, it's really hard for Don to. Don's basically got to shove or fold.
Yep. But I don't mind that decision. The way I look at it is Brian is going to be defending a bit lighter because he's got the chips to back it up. So I don't mind having that conversation, like we all do in your head, sort of going, do I or do I not? And it's also, to me, it's also a chance of doubling up off the chip leader. He's got the chips, why not? Might not be optimum play for everybody, but it's just how I like to play.
It's just jammed.
Well, his last race didn't get through, did it? So.
Yeah.
So go with the approach that I'll play. You're playing for my stack then, in which case, and see if that works.
Yeah, you've now got Don, Natalie, and Craig are now all under 20 bigs, so I'll need to try and make a move sooner rather than later. Joe's keeping the pressure on.
Brian's having a think about this one.
So yeah, Joe with an old school three bigs raise. That's I didn't think anyone did those anymore. I thought it was all 2.2 or 2.5. Or...
Oh, I've seen plenty of those. I've even seen a few 4Xs.
Yep, I was just about to say that. It's especially when you get to when we're in the PKOs.
Craig's jammed.
Here we go, guys. It's going to need to hit.
Okay. No, he's dead on the flop after the queen. Brian's running pretty well on this final table.
So we've seemed to have flown from 8 down to 5 quite quickly here. But there is plenty of play in this. This is what's strange. I mean, the average stack is 750,000. Obviously, it's slightly counted by what Brian's got.
It's a cooler.
What a time to get
Wow.
Lucky Don. Nice hand, Joe.
Yeah,
Wow.
Don done the old limp with kings and like TV shove, and unfortunately Joe's got aces. It's pretty sick.
That's pretty bad. So Don finishes in 5th place for $262. We're down to 4. And I was just kind of explaining that we've average stack is just under a million. So there's like 50, nearly 50 bigs is an average stack at the moment.
Do you get the feeling Party Poker's got a reboot tonight at some point?
I was going to say, I think Party Poker's on a promise.
They're going to do a chip shop.
I had my first one of them the other night. It was quite interesting how we went about it. It was pretty good fun.
What was that? So that was on. What was that on?
It was a $5 Masters Omaha at 3 something in the morning.
As you do, yeah.
No, it was literally at 1 in the morning. There were 12 people left.
Wow.
Yeah, and we basically got 3-handed. I think 20 past 3.
Oh my God.
I only had 1 million out of 12 million chips, and got it back up to even stacks. And the other guys wanted to chop us, and yeah, fine.
Yeah,
what do you literally just click a button and go, and all agreed? Yeah?
It gives you 2 choices. You can either do it by chip count, or you can do it by percentage. And then the chip leader is the one who has to do it, and then the other players have to agree to it.
Okay, cool.
And because the chip counts were so even, we literally all got like $200 and something each. Wasn't exactly worth it for that time in the morning, but
hey, it's always worth it. That's a good score.
Profit's profit.
Yeah, too right.
Not like I was watching Danny Strange a couple of weeks ago. He was on the final table of a $11, I think it was $11 Masters, and he got heads up with a guy. Went through the whole process of they were going to chop it, and the guy pulled out because the other guy was chip leader, and he just pulled out, and then I can't be bothered. Carried on.
Wow. Oh really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was literally.
That feels like a chopping slow roll or something.
Wow.
It literally was. It literally is 2 buttons to press, and that's it. That's all he had to do.
Oh right. Okay. Wow.
And after, I think it was somewhat like 10 minutes later, he said, "No, I can't be bothered with this," and then destroyed Danny in about 4 hands. Heads up. Nice.
So he slowed him like even before.
What night was that?
God.
That was about a week and a half ago, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Remember Danny posted up his result?
Yeah, because Danny finished second in the PLO on Friday night.
Yeah.
But he had a serious chip lead over Emma Wanland, who'd won one before, and I was really surprised. I didn't see the hand to know how it played out, but he ended up in second place. I thought that was quite interesting that she managed to turn that round, as Brian shows 10s there, and that's good enough against the ace-9 of Joe.
He's got a fear on the cards, Brian.
Do you? I mean, Joachim's shown a few hands there. Do you guys show hands online, or do you tend not to? No.
No, mine is just my settings will just set to like just auto, don't show at showdown.
It depends how I want my image to look.
How do you think people? Really how do you think people perceive you, Asa?
I had a conversation with Adam the other night, which was, I really don't know how people perceive me because I don't know how I perceive me.
If you don't know, they're not going to know.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I know I can grind anything, but I know I can play loose as anything as well. So it just depends on the night and what my feelings are. Eccentric is probably the right word.
Okay.
There's times where,
like a chameleon.
yeah, basically. Go, not wishing. This is not a brag, by the way, but going back to Edinburgh 2018 when I finished third.
This is going to be. There it is. There's
no
the
no brag. No, until we got down to the final 5, I hadn't been all in at risk, and that's the game I like to play. I put pressure on without putting myself at risk. And until I was down to 5, and not once had I been all in at risk in the entire tournament. And you are right, Vince. Vince has just put
the bloody fish in the 8-game Asa. That's what Vince is saying.
He still doesn't forgive me.
Hey, you've got the bracelet.
To be honest, the start of the run for the 8-game was a hand against Vince, where I hit a straight. I can't remember what Vince had. It was either trips or 2-pair on the flop.
I would imagine Vince will remember.
Yeah, oh God, absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, all in the call. It's ace against ace king.
And he's at the straight on the end.
Wow. That's hungry. That is bad. Wow.
Can we just give the money to Brian now?
I have a feeling I'm about to get a WhatsApp message. Oh dear. Well, let's start first of all by saying, Natalie, 4th place, $337.
Very nice.
Fantastic effort. Great run. Very well done. And that is a pretty, so obviously, Brian had the flush draw as well, so it wasn't, he did have options to get there, but got there on the river. But a cracking run from Natalie, and we're down to 3.
Three-handed on the final table.
Is that the first medal going to Estonia then?
Yeah. Well, there's no medals for this one, so we've.
Of course it's not.
So we've done medals. We've sent a medal to Germany. We've got 2 going to Sweden.
Friday, Saturday.
Yeah,
that was it, Vinny. There's still loads of play.
Yeah.
Even Joe's got 30 bigs.
Yeah, it's like, even if Joe or Joachim double through Brian, then they'll win at the chip lead. So. Still a lot to play for.
So top 3 prizes now: $488 for 3rd, $694 for 2nd, and then $995 rounded up to 1,000 top.
Not too shabby.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, excuse me. Obviously, if you've got in for a couple of goes in the feeders as well, so maybe it's cost you $15 or $20 to get in. Then it's even nicer, isn't it? If you can do that.
Yeah. I think it cost me about 80 to get in, because I had about 6 shots at the feeder and then ended up just buying directly in.
Oh, these high rollers, they can afford to do this.
Tom, you told me this afternoon you weren't doing that.
No, I done a few spins in roulette and I won 30 quid, so I went, right, okay, that'll pay towards most of my buy-in. So.
I mean, it's really tough to look anything other than Brian here for this win now, isn't it, really, with the sort of chip lead that he's got. The other 2 are going at it here with this on this club board.
Ooh, Joe sorted.
Was that just Joe having a little bit of seeing if it was good, and then when played back against, it's like, right, okay, I'm just going to get out of the way here now. Yeah.
Maybe got top pair, and then Joachim's put in a really tough spot.
If 3-handed and you got four of the same suit on the board, it's always good to have a bet to see where you are.
I'm just tapping away as quickly as I can to get the exits in for squads, so we can see where we're at for that. Although I think we kind of know where we are team-wise on that. As all in a call.
Oh, here we go. Brian's got there again.
Wow.
Oh, goodness me.
Brian, what are next week's lottery numbers, please?
Wow.
Good luck, Joe.
It's all right. Some nights it goes for you, right?
Absolutely.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Brian knows we want to do Turbo Millionaire at 11. That's what it is.
Turbo roller.
Yeah. I mean, I guess from Joe's point of view here, it's just a case of you've got to, at some point, you're just got to get your chips in and look to try and get a bit of momentum to try and do something here. There's no point hanging around for too long, and Brian's just going to keep applying the pressure,
Yeah, just anything pretty, just sneak it in pre-flop and hope to double up and make a game of it.
Close your eyes and hope, yeah. So Joe says very well played tonight in the chat to Brian.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just your night, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Brian says it's been a while. I thought he was fairly consistent winner.
He is. I think he's been busy with work.
Okay.
He's a care worker, so I'd imagine he's probably not had a break at all.
No, I would imagine not. No, definitely not.
I know he was doing. Well, I had a chat with him in Nottingham, I think it was, during the team event. He was picking and choosing his hours in terms of how many he wanted to do for a week, and obviously with everything that's gone on, I imagine he's been doing quite a lot more.
Yes, as most have in that sector, isn't it? It's been a case of just getting on with it. I don't think a lot of people can, it would be even to even comprehend kind of what's been going on.
I think this is the 5th time in a row that Joe's pushed all in and she's taking a few chips quietly. She's got a long way to go, of course. Here we go again.
But you say a long way to go, but one double up.
She gets one through.
I'll put Joe over $1 million and Brian down to 2.5.
Yeah.
Which means then then it's another one, and actually she takes the chip lead. So it's it's not that far off, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got 20 bigs now, so more than that.
I guess the point here, as she showed tens, is that in the 5 or 6 consecutive times that she pushed, Brian wasn't tempted, so he's not going to double her up easily, right? He's going to want to have a hand of some sort to take her on with.
Yeah, not now. She's got over 20 bigs. Maybe when she's down like 300, they could take a shot. But
which is when he was when it initially went heads up. He shoved all in a couple of times, didn't he? Just to kind of into a big blind. It's like, well, okay, let's see if I can do this.
Yeah, just try and win it here and now.
Here we go.
But we know from the NHS game a few weeks, I say weeks back, probably months back now. Yeah, the heads up that Joe played that.
That was years back, wasn't it?
It feels that, doesn't it? Yeah.
That was like 2007.
Oh, here we go, guys. It's an ace.
Joe's at the ace.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Wow, what a finish!
Well, there we go. So Joe finishes in second place for $694. Brian Harland, $995. He doesn't need the $5 from me after that. I mean, that was.
Lee's walked back on his $5 offer.
I will send you $5 as well. That was incredible. I mean, guys. I mean, have you ever run that good on a final table?
The turbo, probably.
That was extraordinary. Right, so we're 5 to the hour, Des. So
let's do it. Shall we do it?
We'll get Turbo Millionaire up, and then we'll bring up a squads table after 11 and get back to the poker.
Fantastic. Well, I'm just bringing squads up now, but as Lee said, guys, it is 5 to the hour. If you want to play in the final Turbo Millionaire of the week, then do put Turbo in the chat box. And you were up against a tough time from Rob Swindells tonight. He got 5 right in about, well, just under 1 minute 40 seconds. If we have to measure it, we will measure it. But nonetheless, it will be fun, I'm sure. So at 11 o'clock, Lee will pick someone randomly who wants to play. 2 championship entries up for grabs.
And of course, you've got an extra person in the virtual studio to offer, so yeah.
Yeah, you can ask the audience.
You really could. Yeah.
The only thing we're going to say, though, is that if Asa coughs, right, just ignore that one, okay? Because he's from Salford.
Definitely.
Unless it's an ankle bracelets question, and of course, we all know now if perfume comes up, you phone a friend and you're on
That's
the phone
right.
with Jason Chillmade. Yeah,
Straight in there.
Instantly.
That's what you do for that.
So when that person answers, you just say, "Can you hand the phone to Jason, please?" It's a question on perfume.
Yeah, his knowledge is that, and the Kardashians is just exceptional. Absolutely exceptional. Right, so I think I'm right up to date with the exits now on squads. We've got 29 players left. And as expected, pretty much sure that no one's going to catch Eat My Stack. They are going to be the team winners this week.
Wow.
And we've got, let's have a look who can do what in the MVP. So Jeff Talbot is top of the MVP. I think the only person that can catch him is possibly his teammate. If he's playing tonight.
Well, that'll be interesting to keep an eye out. Who's that team?
Yes, he is. Martin. No, Martin.
Martin.
Martin
Okay.
Hadfield. Yeah. Martin's still playing. I don't think anybody else can. No, it's 215 points up top tonight. So, yeah, pretty much that's going to be. It's only Martin can catch, and he needs 158. So he is going to need he'd need to win it. But that's Martin's target. But obviously he's in the team that are going to be winning the team event for the week. Anyway, so what that does mean with Eat My Stack winning that, and it looks like the D-Gens are currently in second place for the team event, with the Four Nations in third at the moment. For the MVP, Eat My Stack, so Jeff is top, Dean Pearson's third, Joe Carhill for the D-Gens is in second, and Rich Baker is in fourth. So it probably means we're going to pay down a few places in the MVP list this week. So if you've had a good week and you're not in one of the top teams, you still might well be in with a shout of some $T.
Good stuff. The more the merrier.
Yeah.
And Lee, talking about the Four Nations, well, we're all here. We're all in the chat box,
well, that's
right?
It. Yeah. Pretty
Boom.
much. I said without even realising it when I booked the guys up. I was like, oh, hang on, we've got do you remember that one about the Englishman, Irishman, Scotsman, and Welshman that get onto a virtual poker commentary? Yeah.
I never did thank you, Lee, this morning for waking me up, by the way.
Well, that's
Really?
nice. Did he bring you a cup of tea in bed or what?
No, I should say waking me up for the second time in the morning.
I'm not being funny, but what time did I message you? Well, it was late, wasn't it?
5:11.
Well, that's like, that's a normal time. Okay, it's not poker player time.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
I was fairly well. I was quite busy watching a stream last night online, which our mutual friend Mr. Broadbent in the 24
Jimmy,
Hour Le Mans.
What a boy! What's a boy?
He was in the 24-hour virtual Le Mans last night.
So I saw. So I didn't hear. I haven't seen his video in terms of how he did on that, but I saw on Sky Sports a little earlier on today that it was run out or finished. It looked amazing on TV. I have to say, it looked incredible.
It was really, really good to watch.
Yeah.
The only downside of it was the server crashed twice during the night.
Oh well, that's a
So
that's a
that's
downside we're familiar with. I have to say.
Yeah. It's just that the servers weren't good enough, and they weren't planning to do this. and it all got bankrolled by a Saudi prince or something.
Oh dear.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
So guys, just last chance to get your turbos in. I'll give it the 30 seconds from now when I've just said that, and we will I will randomise it up and pick somebody.
Quite a few tonight.
Yeah.
I see. JP's just added his name to the list,
is he?
and earlier on in the evening, he'd offered his services to take a medal to Estonia, to Joachim, I think.
Yeah.
That's nice work if you can get it.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. If only we were doing medals for the roller. That's
Break that to him gently.
Yeah.
I'm sure JP will still go to Estonia anyway.
Yeah, well, as I say,
Right.
we've sent one to Sven over in Germany, and Emma will have already had one gold, and she's got another one coming this week.
On the way. Excellent.
On the way after this one. But I think a lot of people have had medals drop through their letterboxes in the last few days. Tom's did a whole batch earlier on in the week, so hopefully they're there. Right then, let's
do it.
Let's random this up, and I'll tell you what, it's all about being lucky last to type turbo, isn't it?
Oh,
Obviously.
there's a clue.
Obviously, that's the. If you hadn't have said, I wouldn't have even noticed.
Whose round is it?
Yeah.
I'm here
You
all.
did, JP?
Hang on, didn't get my connection right.
Ooh.
Oh no, we've lost him again. He was in, and then he.
Well, we've never had 5 people in here before. I tell you, it's a bit tight.
It's cozy, yeah. We'll try again.
That's that silver over with again.
Can you hear me?
There we go.
I can hear you.
Marvellous.
Oh,
You
JP.
just got to do a quick hellos because there's 5 of us on the call. So say hello, Trevor. Wouldn't you?
Hello, everybody. Hello, England, Scotland, Ireland, and
Hello.
Wales.
Asa and Tom, if you could just stand up against the back wall there, just create a little bit of space, for JP. Right, step forward, JP. Step forward so we can get the light on you. There we go. It is JP. Wow, look at that beard. Look at that beard. It's just exactly how I remembered about 4, 5, 6 months ago. It hasn't changed at all.
No, it's getting bushier.
It's getting
Good
bushier.
lockdown beard.
I would certainly hope so. Okay, JP, we're going to do this. Let's see if we can bring up the first question. Right, so here's the gig. You haven't done this before, have you? Or
No,
okay. So you've got 150-50. So you don't like any question, I can take 2 of the options away. You can play that at any point. Timed, obviously, 5 questions. I think the time is under 140, so it's pretty quick. Pretty
It's
quick.
1:38,
Yeah.
I think
So
it is.
you're gonna have to
needs to be quick.
Very strategic in the
Rob got
way
his
you play.
50-50 in before Des had even asked.
It was pretty impressive. The 5th question, you just got that out of the way. I'll do my best with asking these quickly, but they are served up to me, so I can't jump ahead, unfortunately. So, with all of that nonsense said, question 1 is coming your way, JP. Best of luck. So, according to the Met Office, March 2013 saw the coldest ever what on record? Easter Sunday, Valentine's Day, Christmas Day, Shrove Tuesday. March.
Easter Sunday.
Like that. It's correct. Through to question number 2, I know.
That's a tough one.
Question number 2 has come. Complete this well-known saying. One swallow does not make a what?
Summer.
Summer. We like that. It's there, and it's right. We're through to question number 3. Slight delay.
It's the same for everyone.
It's the same for everyone. Here we go. What is the background color of the Facebook logo? Pink, blue, white, green.
Blue.
We like blue. Oh, this is going to be tight, isn't it, Lee? That is correct. We're through to question number 4. The actor Emilio Estevez is whose eldest son? Dean Martin, Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen.
Is the correct answer. We're through to the final question. 50-50? What nationality was the author Alexander Pushkin? Russian, German, French, Italian.
Russian.
Oh, who's been Russian? It's the correct answer. It's 5 out of 5. Wow.
Boom. Wow.
Wow.
1 minute and 12 seconds.
That is a Turbo Millionaire
That is a
record. Wow. Oh, amazing stuff. Amazing stuff, JP. I think that's going to earn you a couple of APAT entries for next weekend into the championship events. And commiserations to Rob. An excellent effort as well, but not good enough this weekend or this week, I'm afraid.
Cheers, boys.
JP
Very
round,
impressive,
everyone.
JP, very
Well done,
impressive.
JP.
He came and he conquered.
First one.
Well
I
done.
think that counts as your only Connect audition. I think that was pretty
Yeah,
impressive
nice.
stuff.
Got a chance then, yeah.
Oh.
Definitely, I'll play it back for Jen. Let her know.
Oh, that sounds personal. Awesome. Thank you, JP.
Cheers,
JP,
guys.
Have a nice
take
evening,
care,
buddy.
mate. Speak to you
See you,
soon.
JP.
See you, JP.
Did you say 1 minute and 12 seconds?
A
That's
minute and 12.
insane. Wow.
That's ridiculous.
And I gave him the
You were
option to
trying- you
do
were trying to get
50-50
him
on
to
the
talk
last one.
50-50. Oh,
Didn't take me up on it. Didn't need it.
always
Incredible
going
stuff.
for Russian.
Incredible
Yeah,
stuff.
that's very impressive.
Yeah, well, there we
Very,
go, guys.
very impressive.
So JP takes down Turbo Millionaire this week in a record time of 1 minute and 12 seconds. Who knew? Who knew?
Wow.
Right.
Knowledgeable guy, JP. He's got a very wide range of knowledge on a lot of different
Yeah.
subjects.
They weren't a bad set of questions either, right?
Yeah, it does.
Within
help.
reason, not a bad set of questions, but you still got to know them. And you got to know the answers. And you got to get it all out. And he was very quick, very quick. So right, guys, poker to home. We have 4 tables left in squads. Is there one in particular that you'd like to see, or indeed a player? You know, however you want to do it.
Why don't we stick JP's table on now?
Okay.
Oh, is he in? Yeah,
He's still in, yes.
So give us a table then.
That's a
table
nice-
10?
He is on...
Table 10. Oh, look at that table.
Yes.
Table
Oh,
10.
bring up table 10.
Right,
yes,
table
that's
10
it.
is live,
That's
guys.
it.
It's
Table
live.
10.
Do your worst.
Oh, that's a good
Talk us
table.
through what we've got here, guys.
So, JP, Lucy Amos, 700k. I can't read this guy. Jorge from Brazil. Adam Bromley, yeah, I assume so. Sandy Drennan, Simon Lawler, and Gordon
Yeah.
MacArthur.
Oh, that's a tasty
T-Mac.
table. Tasty
Very
table.
So he's Jorge Petronilio dos Santos.
That's a great name.
Yeah.
Stick the Jorge.
Yeah. I have to type these names in every night. Honestly, some of them are absolute quality names.
Straight away, Simon's in the chat box. No, don't. So,
So let's critique Simon Lawler's play here. Yeah.
Let's do that.
Let's just work him through. First of all, he's obviously devastated that it's not stud. So he's actually just playing no limit hold'em here.
does he know what he's doing? That'll be.
Normally, if this was the 8 game, he'd be wandering around the room at the moment on a break, because he'd be only getting dealt 2 cards, so he wouldn't be playing.
Yeah, he was. I remember we had a discussion. The 2018 World at the 8 game, he wanted to drop out both the PLO and the no limit hold'em from the 8 game.
Just play it. Well, make it a 6 game, yeah.
Yeah, six game limits basically. I think it was.
I mean, I would like to say Simon was absolutely superb when we were getting the stud structure up together for the game that we play on a Thursday night. The fixed limit 7 card stud game. Simon was absolutely superb at working that through and helping me out to make sure it was right. And I think we got it really spot on there.
Good guy.
Yeah.
Good guy, Simon. Listen, we've had this post on Facebook from Natalie signing off Sunday with a min cash in the GG 1 million guaranteed for $220 and 4th in the APAT roller for $337. Back to the real job tomorrow. Ooh, I feel your pain. But in the meantime, what can we get at Chanel for $550? I like it. I like it. That's the spirit, girl. There you go.
Well,
I can ask Jason, he's an expert in perfume.
I was going to say, because Adam's on this table, so
Yeah.
she can add whatever Adam wins from this tournament.
Absolutely.
As well. Surely that will go in the fund, yeah. So what should really say? Just payouts. We're paying top 24, so we've got 28 players remaining. So $178 up top for this. So the guys have all got something to play for. Even if for the first time, I think ever. I mean, we're on game week 10 of this. I think it's the first time we're actually
done.
probably before we're at the final table. We kind of know where we are with places, other than the minor finishes, which we'll work through when we get to the end. But yeah, first time in a while. But Eat My Stack have just dominated this week. They really have.
And especially the start the D-Gens had as well on Monday. That is really impressive.
Yeah, because Rich and Joe had an incredible start to the week, didn't they?
Yeah.
So you've sat with the Eat My Stack guys for weeks now, guys. What do you put that type of domination down to? Because we as Lee rightly says, we haven't seen a lot of it. We haven't seen a Sunday night go to waste for a long time as far as the top of the leaderboard is concerned. What have they got going on at the moment?
Yeah, you might have good players and get it run well, because we probably when we won it a few weeks back, we were I think we're competent enough players, but if you can run well on these two, you've a chance.
So you don't think they have some deep strategy going on as well as a team? We go aggressive early on or we go cautious early on. There's nothing like that going on, is there? No team orders or...
Well, we managed to box JP already.
I was going to say, we
no.
That was good go against King versus Jack.
JP.
Against the new show favourite.
Oh, it's outrageous. And we've just checked Rob Swindells' time as well. It was 1 minute and 7 seconds. Sorry about that. Only joking.
So, Jorge's, our new show favourite.
Can we get him in Turbo Millionaire?
I've been quite fortunate in that I've not really played that many hands with EMS, but when I have done, especially later in tournaments, they just seem to know when to put the pressure on.
Yeah, pretty experienced, aren't they?
Yeah.
So who's impressed you from outside of your teams, guys? Because you both pretty much played. I think AC, you kind of started playing squads maybe a couple of weeks in. I think if I remember right.
Yeah, it's week 3 or week 4. I can't.
Yeah, but you've played for majority. So who's impressed you in the past sort of 10 weeks of squads?
It depends on the tournament, to be absolutely honest. PLO games by far Dan Elson. We've had a number of conversations after we finished where I've messaged him saying, "Well played. I've tried to avoid you all night," and then he's replied back saying, "Well played. I've tried to avoid you all night," which is always a nice compliment.
That's friendly. Yeah.
Are you sure that wasn't just an echo?
It could have been, to be absolutely fair, from the deep south, but Dan definitely in the Omaha games. In the Hold'em,
I've just had Vince on. I've just had Vince on saying I didn't get messages from Asa. What's he talking about?
Vinny did message me yesterday, ranting about having to fold a hand.
Okay, fair enough.
which was fair because I bluffed, but still. There's two guys that I've struggled against, and certainly since I've started playing. One's Stuart Pillinger, because
Stuart's a good player.
He's a good player,
yeah.
But when I play against him, he always seems to have one better hand. So I'll play against the Omaha Medal on Friday. I had a decent hand with kings, and he just happened to have aces, and I couldn't avoid what the flop was, sort of thing. What else was there? Tim Magnus is the other one, really, from who I've personally played. He just seems to, again, he knows when to put his chips in.
Well, Eat My Stack have gone on this winning streak since Tim became their 4th player, pretty much. So, So, what about you? What about you, Tom?
The one that I was going to say was Marion Giori. Come up against him a lot, and he seems to know where he's at, both in Hold'em and PLO.
And obviously he's fairly new to APAT, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's got a really good all-round game, because you always see him in the later stages of tournaments, and it's really tough to play against.
What will be interesting to me is to see what each of the teams do between themselves, because I'm fairly certain we've all either got each other on Facebook Messenger or on WhatsApp or something like that.
Yeah.
It'd just be interesting to see what the teams would actually talk about.
Wow. Lucky Sandy there. Blind on blind, ace-8 against ace-king. And that's not a bad run out for your ace-8.
Yeah.
Really.
Nice life, Adam.
Yeah.
At least one of the brothers can win with ace-8.
hang on, I've got a WhatsApp message. Tom, you can. Oh no.
Was that the actual bubble as well?
Where are we? 20.
One more.
We were one more to go, I think.
One more.
Yeah, one more to go. Yeah, one more to go in this
But to be,
night.
I will be fair. There's been a hell of a lot of players out there who played really, really well, and equally there's been a lot of players out there who play no one could figure out, and that's been part of the fun, I think.
Yeah, trying to work out who. Well, that's part of the thing, isn't it? Is knowing the players that you can play against, and those that are going to play a little bit more open, perhaps in their the cards that they play.
Mm.
But as I always say, it'd be very boring if everybody always played the same way, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Got now David Amos joining Lucy on the table, basically with equal stacks.
Oh, this should be interesting.
Yeah.
It's incredible. There's literally 1,000 chips between them. Wow.
So the other person I've watched a lot of when I've not been playing is, because I'm more interested now in the PLO and PLO8, is for obvious reasons Pete Wigglesworth, just to see how he approaches the game, what sort of hands he gets it in with from positions, etc. It's helped me quite a bit without him realising it. Realised it. But
yeah, careful, because he'll want to charge you for it.
But one of the things I'd already had been doing is I certainly PLO8 I haven't got married to Ace 2 at any stage, which a lot of people do. I don't mind having Ace 3 or Ace 4 or Ace 5 because so many times the 2 comes on the flop and kills Ace 2 straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been interesting.
You want Ace 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
It's been interesting listening to, say, players that play some of the variants and when they've come on the show and kind of the little snippets of advice they've given or things, just offering a few tips here and there, and you do kind of you pick them up, and as pretty much Gordon's all in bar 233.
Yeah.
Oh, Queens against Ace 10. We're going to lose Gordon.
Lucky Gordon.
And Adam has gone from one of the shorter stacks to 1.5 million now. So that's the money bubble gone.
GMAC did make the cash.
Yeah, he did make the cash, didn't he? So we lost Manuel Braga from Canada in 25th place. So GMAC made the money. Don't spend that $10.70 all at once, Gordon. Yeah.
Peter's just put in the chat box, he can't believe I'm joining EMS. We haven't confirmed anything yet, Peter.
Are you still in negotiations? Is that how it's working?
No. We haven't actually talked about it at all since last night.
Yeah, I'm just imagining Desert. You're imagining that there's agents talking.
No, I think it's far simpler in this particular instance. The lovely Tim Magnus has not been told yet by Jeff. I think that was the what I gathered from last night's discussion. Jeff was like brutal. He was brutal.
Well, I've just finished watching the Netflix Last Dance. About the Chicago Bulls. And it's feeling a little bit like that. They're breaking up a winning team.
Yeah,
how do you do that? How could you do it?
I know. Well, I wouldn't be getting rid of Tim Magnus. Crikey.
No.
Great player.
No, they had such a strong team, I don't think they'd want to break it up. Unless they have to.
Yeah, unless they have to, absolutely.
Why would you break
clearly,
up?
you'd be an excellent addition, Asa. No question about that. But, wow.
I mean, I would love to get to a point one day. I mean, Des and I have talked about it for years, about having a kind of a poker format where we could have a draft and actually kind of and the fun that you could have with that, with actually kind of drafting players into teams, and that would be highly entertaining and I think a lot of fun for the players.
I think we should do it, even if we don't have a competition to put them in. Just have a
do
draft
it.
anyway.
Just do it.
I want to see who the last person up against the wall is. That's the best part of the draft.
So if you had
Who
to,
do we dislike the most?
I was going to say, if you had to pick if you had first pick in an APAT draft into a team for you guys, who would be your
Great
pick?
question.
Who would be your first pick?
Oh, it's
You
a
had
great
first
question.
pick of everybody that plays.
Love it.
Depends on what. Really, to me, depends on what the format is.
Well, say it's similar to what the squads are now. So there's a variety of games. It's about it's about a consistent player that's gonna is gonna get you results and get you points. Yeah, who would be your first pick?
Right, listen. We'll go
mine.
We'll go alphabetically. So Asa goes first, then Tom makes his first pick, and we pick 4 players each. Okay. So you two guys pick 4 players each. So Asa, you have first pick.
It's not played the squads that often, but George Beddy.
George Beddy, right? First out. Tom. The lights.
Danny Strange.
Danny Strange. Wow. Okay.
Dan Elston.
Dan Elston's a good pick. Tom.
And Joe Chilmade.
Joe Chilmade. Okay, in form. Good pick.
This is where it gets interesting. For his variety of games, I have to be Pete Wigglesworth.
Pete, yeah, good pick. Back to you, Tom. Obviously, we gave the boys no time to prep this or to think about it. So put them on the spot a bit. Oh, meanwhile,
Adam's stolen the charge.
Yeah, Adam's taking Lucy's chips, so we lose Lucy. Unlucky Lucy. Good run.
We need to call the clock in win this one.
That's not easy.
Sophie Clark.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
good.
That's a good shout.
That's an in-the-moment choice as Simon shows a pair of aces and he got to walk on. Unlucky.
So player 4 for me.
Yeah.
Then be Jeff Talbot.
Yeah, in form.
That's got nothing to do with the fact he added me on Facebook yesterday, and we've been chatting. But
I thought you were going to say it's nothing to do with the fact that he's texting me going, pick me.
Nothing to do with that. He's just been in excellent form. So that I think that's what it'd have to be them for.
So you got one to go, Tom.
I'll go with Marion.
Marion, yeah, it's another good.
Yeah, it's a good choice. Yeah.
Well, that was really interesting.
Oh, that's
sorry,
pretty sick,
Vinny.
isn't it? Ace 5 versus Ace 7. They both got 2 pair. We lose Simon Lawler, unfortunately.
Unlucky, Simon.
Yeah, nothing you can do there.
Yeah.
Didn't get any action with the aces before, and then walks into 2 pair over 2 pair.
Jorge takes his chips.
Yeah, they're off to Brazil.
I still think Party's got a reboot tonight. The way it's gone, it's been absolutely crazy.
they're in a run. Yeah. Do you think it's because Tighty came on the stream earlier on and has just kind of been like, yeah, we'll get this over quick. Don't worry, I'm pulling the lever. Yeah, we'll get this Sunday.
Guys, don't balk me, but I'm in a $10 start. Like, there's 11 left with 10 seats. So
Are you?
Come on, Tom.
yeah,
How much is it for?
$50.
So what was that So it's a $5 buy-in into $50, yeah?
Yeah, so we got
Man.
11 left. I'm currently
Did
6.
it hit the guarantee or was it overlaid?
It's overlaid quite a bit. There's only 83 runners and 10 seats.
Is Tom searching out for the value on a Sunday night?
No. Do you know what it was? I needed like half a point to get the $5 bonus. I went, I need to spend $5 or something. So
Really? Wow.
It's good thinking.
It's basically a
So
free roll.
where are you from again, Tom? Yeah. Well, good luck in that. Let us know how it.
We should be fine. There's 2 stacks with 1 big blind left, and I've got 4. So
Did you guys hear any of the? I don't know if you heard any of the show last night with Rob Swinells.
Yep, on it all.
Yeah, he told the story about coming. Well, I mean, they did a cash deal, right? But he came second in the Sunday warm up for $95,000, and he told the story of like 5 a.m. in the morning. So he goes up to bed and he gently nudges Laura, who's obviously fast asleep, And he just whispers in her ear, I've won $95,000. He said she bolted upright in bed. I'm not surprised. Straight up. Have you ever had that sort of moment where you've won something big and you've just shared that news with somebody else? Oh, it's going to be quiet, Lee. It's going to be quiet.
Well, I didn't want to pile in on this one, but I'll let these guys chat. Yeah,
come on, guys. It doesn't have to be $95,000. It doesn't have to be that big, but just that glorious moment of telling somebody.
I remember I chopped the big 22 back in 2012. So I got like $15,000, which at the time was
very
nice. Wow.
10k sterling.
That'd be very nice today, Tom. Never mind back in the day.
No.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And who heard the good news first?
I told my mum, and my mum was like, "What?" Because my mum's
beautiful.
Like, quite kind of old school. I mean, she didn't even think you could like win that much money online, stuff like that. Kind of to explain it. But
it's just that moment of instant credibility for playing online. You say, "Oh yeah, I just scooped up 15 grand." It's like it all makes sense suddenly.
So here's the satellite fold. Someone's jumped into it, and we've got aces in the button, and we're folding.
Oh, satellite play. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
How about you, Asa?
I'm going to put it in. I'll put it on the page.
Mine, I was flat sharing with a mate from work, and he'd been at work that night, and I mistakenly got into a $5 rebuy, which I never did, and I ended up winning it for some like, I think it was 6,000 or 7,000, which was very nice. And he saw me playing, so he left me to it. So I think it was like the 21st of December or something like that, and I'm going mental after I've won it, and then I see he's playing poker as well. So he's dead happy for me. Then he goes, "I've run out of 6. I'm going to go up the shop. Can you take over mine?" Go on then. So I find out what he's in, and he's also mistakenly entered the tournament, and it's a $10 limit tournament. I think there was something like 24 left, and it paid 22, and he was 24th in chips. He came back, and I was chip leader.
I think he had a plan.
I think it's just obviously my night. He didn't win it in the end or anything like that, but it was just obviously my night, and we had a fairly good couple of days after that celebrating.
Fantastic. You're going to say he mistakenly took his bloody laptop back from you? He probably did, didn't he?
But it's funny you have the stories of playing things that you don't mean to. I mean, I've told the story about cashing in a scoop in a tournament that I didn't kind of mean to play. But obviously, Rob won his the big cash of the Sunday warm up, but only simply because he was injured and therefore couldn't play. Cricket, so pretty much decided he'd play that tournament that night, and he had a few that he got into as Adam's there all in against David Blacklaw, and the 10 Jack is going to be good enough, and Adam Bromley is on the charge, and we lose David Blacklaw. So he played that one and obviously went on to have that big cash on the base of that, but I accidentally got into that scoop one where I think I remember Jen going to bed about sort of midnight, me saying I won't be much longer, and she woke up at 7 o'clock the following morning. I was still playing it. What's going on here?
It was similar, but in a live experience. I was staying at Adam's for the weekend in Birmingham, and we planned to go to Dusseldon on Sunday, but I'd forgotten my ID, and I hadn't been for so long that I needed it. So we ended up going to Walsall and ended up chopping their Sunday tournament for just over £1,000.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which is very nice.
Yeah, the poker tournament cashes that you didn't mean to play.
Yeah.
I actually done that the night before in APAT. It was APAT in Newcastle, but 2016, I think. And just at the last minute, I was staying at my mate's in Edinburgh on Friday night. Went along and played the Genton game on the Friday and got a 3-way chop for like £1,000 each.
Brilliant.
So just like I didn't even bother that I basically bubbled the APAT on the Sunday.
Well, I think the first cash on my Hendon mob is a £100 GUKPT. We finished 5th or something, and I only went to the casino that night to play the normal game. I had no idea that was on, and thought, sod it, I'll give it a go.
Yeah, I agree. So Tom Banks has just said, yeah, Rich Clark won the Sunday warm-up a few years back. Also think it was about 119k.
Wow.
Said to me, it was good it was online as he won with 8-2, and that wouldn't have made a good photo.
There's been a few dodgy winners' photos over the years, I have to say.
God, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think when you're getting it in for that winning hand,
No.
you really overly care what the cards are, do you?
119k. What did Jen say when you made your big score, Lee?
I can't honestly remember. I do remember. So I remember it ended, and they were wanting to kind of get things organised to do interviews. And
Yeah.
I remember. So I remember Paul coming over and Stu Oliver coming over, and Stu Lockley was there as well. And then I just remember the next thing I wanted to do was phone Jen to let her know before she found out any other way. But I remember just having kind of a 5-minute conversation, not even a 5-minute conversation, maybe a 2-minute conversation with her, and then they were kind of wanting to grab, to do kind of winners stuff and interviews and all that kind of thing. So it's just a quick call with her. I can't even remember what I said.
Yeah.
It would have been just something along the lines of,
Wow.
I've done it or I've won or something like that. So
I
she
think-
knew what was up for grabs.
Yeah.
So she kind of knew, but she'd been umming and ahhing about coming up to Nottingham that day to kind of come up and rail it. But was just really worried that it would kind of balk me or something, or it was different, or it's different to what I'd been already, kind of what I've been doing each day. Maybe a little bit superstitious, but just was like, well, she just felt a little bit like actually she'd be better off not. So because we kind of had a bit of routine for that tournament, we'd go over to Frankie and Benny's and have breakfast each morning. So we did that from day 2 when I'd meet up with Paul, and obviously both of us getting to the final tables. So each day we just had the same routine of what we were doing, and and it worked out all right for both of us actually. So
Oh, that's fantastic. It's got to be really exciting for somebody who gets the news as well, if they don't fully understand the game. It's incredible stuff.
yeah, I mean, I guess the difficult thing.
Oh, what's happening now?
What?
Bloody hell.
Goodness me! Oh, to the Adam Bromley tonight. Wowzers!
Oh, I think
That's it.
Igor was absolutely sort of murdered as well in his hand. It was insane. So
Pav's raised it up. Igor's got it all in with the 6s on a 6-5-10 board. Adam's all in as well because he's got 10-5 and then hits a 10 on the river to make a full house. Just incredible. Yeah, wow. As Dave Amos was. Yeah, so the other thing about that tournament was because it was being filmed for Sky, I don't think the updates and stuff were there was something slightly weird about what they were doing or what they were releasing information-wise and something or other about it. So I think it was quite difficult for her to follow necessarily what was going on.
Yeah.
So it was. But of course, I was lucky with that tournament because it was being filmed and for Sky Sports. There was no deals.
Oh yeah.
And ultimately, I guess probably if we'd got three out, maybe I think probably if somebody had wanted to do a deal there, I'd have probably dealt because it's so much money. I probably would have dealt.
Did they? Was that expressly within your T's and C's? Were you aware of that when joining the tournament?
Yeah. There was a point when we were heads up where. The guy I was heads up with had a conversation because we went on for quite a while. The heads up, we went for a quick comfort break at one point, and he raised the subject away from the table.
Yeah,
and it was at that point where I kind of thought, I think I'm going to beat you here. I think I'm going to beat you because you're clearly tired of wanting to do a deal or whatever. And I just thought, I think I can. Yeah, I was like, no, we're good. So,
what was the difference between first and second, Lee?
About 40 grand.
Holy shitballs, that's a lot.
Yeah, so
that was brave. That was very gutsy.
But it was a case of the trouble is I didn't know the guy.
Yeah,
and it would have been a case of literally would have been a case of doing handing cash over in the car park effectively. And the fact is, I didn't really know the guy, so it was. What do you do? tricky. And to say I didn't have a massive kind of rail there. You know, obviously Paul had made the final tables. He was there, and saying Stu Oliver was there, but it was difficult to kind of know necessarily what the right thing thing would have been to do. But I just felt when he offered it, I just thought. Actually, do you know
sign of weakness.
I'm good. I think I'm good here because I'm gonna, and so it worked out. It worked out okay.
Simon Lawler is saying, "I'd chop, lol." So a very quick interruption there, guys, but we're back up and running again.
Yeah, but it was a thing because they were running it as a series on Sky Sports, so basically it was they wanted a winner, so it wasn't really okay. Although I think nowadays they can have that scenario where they just kind of they work it into production, don't they? So basically they just play it out. There was one that was on a couple of years back, which I'm sure we all knew as poker players, was the poker community. We all knew got chopped, but when you watch the kind of the TV edit of it, it was they didn't mention it. So
So is it on YouTube, Lee? I would have thought it's up there somewhere.
I can sell you the DVDs if you want them, Simon.
$4.99.
Do you want them signed or?
Well, do you stand?
I presume it's still. I mean, I never got to watch it until because I didn't have Sky subscription at the time, so I couldn't watch it until I think they put it up on YouTube. But when it got played live on Sky, I wasn't able to watch it. But I think it got put on YouTube. I think my mum and dad watched it before I did.
Yeah. Would you do a signed copy for me, Lee? Because I'd love to see you standing in the corner of the video, just doing all of those hand sort of actions. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
A forward from the author.
Yeah. But I don't know whether it still is up on YouTube. Well, I suppose if stuff's up on YouTube, it's there forever. Isn't it? I don't know. Can't say I've looked for a good while. It probably is. So.
Oh, Simon says, get Annette to sign them. I'll give you a $5. I think you'd probably stretch a bit further than a $5.
Lee, when the broadcast, did they have the whole cards up or did they have it on a delay?
It wasn't streamed live, so it was recorded.
Okay.
So it was a full on kind of. Des will know more about it from obviously days of working with Sky, but a full on kind of Sky production. It was insane.
Yeah, that's a big.
It was a big old.
That is a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, and from my point of view, what was great about it for me is it finally meant because I had a decent run at the Wembley event, the APAT, where we had the APAT event probably a year or 18 months prior to that. And I remember saying to my mum and dad, "Oh yeah, we're playing at Wembley," and they were like, "Oh right, okay, yeah, lovely, whatever," because you can't visualize it. So the fact that my mum and dad got to watch that, and genuinely they then kind of understood it, and they got it as we got. What is going on here? Ace Queen versus Fours.
Four for the rubs.
If it wasn't going in it was going in on the river. That's
absolutely no need for that.
Yeah, but I think it's just the fact that my mum and dad got to, they kind of understood a little bit more of what was going on. So as Dave Amos was shoved all in and Adams re-shoved, so
it's going to be fruity.
Well,
it's going to be aces v aces now.
Brandon's got a decision on him.
Kings
versus Ace Queen, and dodges the diamond as well. So we're going to lose Dave Amos.
Oh, lucky Dave, he had outs.
Another board goes all in on anyway. Crazy.
Yeah. So Adam Bromley's just absolutely on fire here. 6.4 million.
Now on the final table bubble.
Meanwhile, in another room, Natalie's hands just hover over her laptop as she waits on the channel website to find out what the final number might be from tonight's shenanigans. I think we've moved from a nice perfume to a handbag. Adam Sharple says, "This is carnage, lol." It is carnage. It is indeed.
Adam's just collecting for his Yum Nuts fund.
What the hell?
Oh, do you not know about Yum Nuts?
No, what are Yum Nuts?
Oh, this feels an appropriate time on
Go
a
for
Sunday
it.
night to talk about Yum Nuts. So, Marks and Spencer's Yum Nuts. They're a cross between a Yum Yum and a donut.
Oh, I love it.
You have got to try these things.
Are they like iced donuts then? Or, what's going on there? Are they square donuts? Or
No. So they're round. So they're like a ring donut, but they're yum kind of consistency. And then you can get like lemon meringue and a raspberry and a triple chocolate one and cookies and cream. They are. See, Natalie's in now going.
Oh my God! Yeah,
I introduced the Bromleys to Yum Nuts.
Oh, I love it.
A bit of a thing,
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank God they're both low fat and nutritionally important.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Amazing.
Yeah, all of that. Yeah. Yeah, completely. So it's the breakfast of champions, Yum Nuts. So, and of course, if Adam could win this, I mean, $178 is going to buy him 1 or 2 Yum Nuts, I reckon.
1 or 2 cases.
Yeah.
I would invest in a Yum Nut factory.
Do you know, this is how great Natalie is when I told them about them, Adam was like, oh, I really like. So she made a special trip to go and buy Adam some Yum Nuts.
Oh, that's nice.
It's love. What can you say?
That's nice. And Joe Chillmate can't get a cup of tea. I mean, it's just not fair.
Exactly.
It's just not fair.
That's a final table.
Yeah, so we're down to 8 now. So we'll see.
Excellent.
What Des is running.
No, I'm going to be running fine because I've got both of them open, Lee. I've just figured it. It's taken 10 weeks, but I figured it out.
10 weeks and you finally
10
got
weeks.
It, yeah. You were busy yesterday showing off your whole setup. Everyone was very impressed with your setup.
Yeah, well, it's the first time in 10 weeks it's looked tidy. So, Oh, look, we've hit the table, Lee.
Well, how about that?
Well done.
I tell you what we didn't tell them yesterday is you got a setup pretty similar. So that's cool.
Yes, yeah, I don't like to show off with
Well, I have to, Lee. I have to justify the spend,
I'm sure you've got 1 or 2 screens that you don't actually need there.
No, I'm pretty much using all of those screens. It's insane. It's all ahead of you.
So we in 9th place we lost Brian Michael Jackson. So
well, you can't beat that.
Do you think the middle then? Do you think the middle? That was bad.
That's bad. Yeah.
I could go on. I could probably free roll this one for about 10 minutes.
Yeah. So Natalie's posted up saying, just don't talk about Adam winning this, please. The gloating in this house will be horrendous. Do we need now to go into full Bok mode, right? Yeah, is that the plan?
Am I right in thinking Martin could still win Player of the Week?
Yes. So if Martin Hadford is currently 4th in chips. I did mention it earlier on, and you're quite right, Asa. Yeah, if he wins this, he would win MVP for the week and overtake his teammate Jeff Talbot. So Martin's might as well go for the win and look to do that. Obviously, we've got Tom's favourite, Jorge, 2nd in chips at the moment. I know nobody else has attempted to go for the full name other than me. I mean, it's just...
No.
Jorge Pedro Nilo dos Santos.
Oh, see, it sounds great with the Scottish accent, doesn't it? Oh, we're going to have some action here because he's going to get called 8-8 against Ace King. And Jamie Edgell is going to depart.
Lucky Jamie.
This could be pretty straightforward. I think 2 massive stacks and 5 short stacks, in effect.
Yeah, pretty much, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, everything else, has been relatively straightforward for the, the earlier parts of our show. I wouldn't be surprised if this gets a bit sticky and they share the chips around a bit.
Yeah, so Jamie Edgell finished 3rd in the PLO on Friday night. So we were talking earlier on about Emma Wunland getting the 2nd gold and Danny Strange finishing in silver. Well, Jamie Edgell was in 3rd on Friday.
Nice.
Well done, Jamie.
Good weekend for him. Yeah.
Martin's in the chat box. He says, I couldn't possibly take the trophy away from my mate, Jeff. Wouldn't be fair. We know what he means.
Yeah.
We know what you mean, Martin. We're tipping our noses.
Yeah. Okay, you do the right thing, Martin.
Do the right thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't try and outdo your skipper. The trouble is what would worry me, mine for you is, I mean, it seems Jeff's quite happy to drop players.
That's right. You win this, you could be out. Or if you win this, you could campaign to be the team captain on the back of your success. We could have an overthrow Jeff moment. That would be amazing. I mean, it's all about the racings, right?
A Poker Squad's coup.
Jeff comes back quickly, as you'd expect. You just get on and win it, Dad. Oh, there you go. Can't be older than Jeff. Can't be. Jeff's got to be about 50.
Well, that's why they've got Dean in the team, isn't it? To lower the average age. Yeah. So.
I think with everything that's gone on tonight, I'm fully expecting at some point the two chip leaders to blow up.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they'll just go at it. I just had that feeling for some reason.
Bit of balance. I'm with you on that one.
So Simon's just asking you about the MVP and squads winners. I'll give you a quick update where I think we're at. I don't think the top three. I'm pretty certain that it's going to be Eat My Stack. They're going to be the top team for the week. DGens A are going to be in second place, and I think the Four Nations are going to be in third. That all looks pretty locked up, but there are points up for grabs here, so there might be a slight change in that, but I think that's pretty much done. As far as the MVP goes, currently top of the tree is Jeff Talbot. Joe Carhill in second, Dean Pearson in third, and Rich Baker in fourth, with Rob Swindell's in fifth. But the only player that can change any of that is Martin Hadfield on this current table now. A win would see him top the MVP.
Action.
And I was looking at Sam's raise there.
And Brandon's in.
Well, so it's going to be a three-way, isn't it? For sure.
Brandon's got to be absolutely massive. Yeah.
Oh, Kings.
King versus Ace King.
Oh!
Wow.
Brandon has been quartered almost.
Well, I mean, when you've got kings and you see you're up against two lots of Ace King, you're
liking it.
Okay, I'm liking that a lot. Yeah. Dear, oh dear. So Adam and Sam chop that up, and we lose Brandon. Cracking run though.
Yeah, unlucky Brandon. He's in the chat box. I think he said something like "Whoa."
Yeah, which is quite a polite response, to be honest to that.
Yeah,
that's pretty sick on the river. Wow. Yeah, that's Tighty pushing that lever again, isn't it?
Oh my word! They all want to go home tonight.
Dear, oh dear. So 6 players remaining now. Min cash now is $36 and it's $178 up top.
There was something in the chat box earlier which I think we all missed, which was we think Sophie's not going to be top of the table anymore for the whole series.
Oh, what the overall scores?
They think Jeff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, 7 just made a house.
Yeah, Colin doubles through Adam there.
Wow, 7s versus 9s.
It's quite a while ago.
Oh right, so the total score of all.
Yeah, total
score.
Yeah.
Okay. I will. I will work all that through tomorrow and to confirm that. But it's nice to know. See, there's other people with spreadsheets, Des. Did you know that?
Oh, I do. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
We call them unofficial other people, of course.
Yeah.
They're not officially APAT approved, but they can buy a license and become officially approved if they want.
I use too many spreadsheets to block, so
people wouldn't want the spreadsheets I've got going on for these squads. It's just like,
you took the green men's to work it out, yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. We're up to. So what? This is going to be the end of game week 10, isn't it? And by the time I type in these last 6 names, I will have typed in 13,158 names in the past 10 weeks.
Wow.
of poker squads. So plus if you add in the championships and other bits, yeah, it's probably over 15,000 players in the last 10 weeks.
Amazing.
Yeah, and every one of them typed in by hand. Yeah.
Doubly amazing. Well done. Great effort, Lee.
It's all good because it just means we can get the results out quick, guys, which is what is the most important. There's nothing worse than kind of going, well, who won? Oh, we'll tell you in the morning. Like, well, yeah, that doesn't really work, does it?
Yeah. when Lee, when this is all over, right, you and me.
Don't mess with B-double-O-Z-E, 'cause that spells booze, and you're gonna lose with Mr. Booze.
Amen, brother.
Don't mess with
I can't wait. I can't
That's
wait.
the yellow button. Des.
That
Yeah,
is
the
definitely the yellow button.
Yeah.
Is that
We call
Wednesday
that
night?
Tom Banks's yellow button.
Tom Banks' yellow button. You asked earlier on. He wanted to know.
Oh, yes. I'll blame.
Definitely like that Wednesday night.
Yeah. Oh, Wednesday night. Oh, are we going to do it? Are we going to do it? Football's back. Wednesday night. Yeah, crikey.
Yeah.
So excited.
It's going to be mad. I mean, Tom, are you jealous that the Premier League's back and Scotland have decided to take a slightly different stance with it all?
No, I'm looking forward to that, actually, because Scottish football's pretty rotten anyway.
Oh, no.
Unless it's like Rangers v Celtic and there's a fight, then that's just not really worth watching.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Nobody really wants to watch Hamilton v Ross County, do they?
Ooh.
Oh,
Lose
Queen
Martin.
Nine for Martin. Well, not
Lose.
quite.
One more
he's got-
hand.
Yeah, one more. He's
Oh,
always
dear.
because he's already with his ante. So
Well, here we go, guys. Could this be a classic chip in a chair
this
situation?
could be the greatest
Comeback.
comeback of all time. Yeah.
The greatest comeback since we got the stream back online on, when was it, two nights ago?
Well, he's got two. Obviously he's got all the antes, so he's going to have a decent. If he can win this hand, he'll have a decent stack
Oh,
compared to what he had before.
oh dear. He's not hit.
Oh, okay.
Unlucky Martin.
Says goodbye.
Good run, Martin.
Great effort, though, you'd have to say. And congrats to Jeff.
Well, that confirms.
Yeah.
That confirms Jeff as MVP for the week and the winning skipper as well. I mean, really,
Incredible.
very, very impressive performance.
Very, very good. And meanwhile, Igor Asimov says, I'm going to call him Adam 2 Outs Bromley. So Adam is earning all sorts of respect from the field tonight, but that's okay. That's okay.
Now, just on the Scottish football thing, I think I said the last time a couple of weeks ago that they've ended league seasons, but they're going to play the Scottish Cup.
Oh, so is that definitely happening then? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if they've got a date for it yet, but
how is that? How would that work? Because I'm guessing
madness.
are they back in training then or not? Or are they?
yeah. I know Rangers are back to light training. They were training this week, so I think there's a few teams that are back into training.
Yeah.
Honestly, don't know why they're not playing in Scotland. I have to say, I mean, they're kicked off in Spain. They've been playing in Germany for 2 weeks. Playing in the Premier League next week.
Did they just? Do you think they just made the decision a little bit too early?
It
So
feels
once
a bit
you
that
make
way. It feels a bit that way.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they've done. Just kind of like called it out, basically.
Yeah. And there's some things that you can say, okay, yeah, that's not going to happen. I mean, it's like we made a fairly, not early decision, but the right decision with the world live and just decide, well, we need to just let people know what's going on. But the football feels like you had a bit more time to make the decision.
Yeah, there's no rush because the European Championships have been moved back anyway. The whole next season calendar is going to be moved back anyway as well because every league in Europe's affected by it. So
yeah. So big pot here between Adam and Holgate.
7-4v4s. Calling it now. No, not quite.
Oh, there we go.
Just as bad.
Oh, Asa, you were so close with that.
It'd just be typical of the night, that's all.
Yeah, no, exactly, yeah. But actually, it wasn't blind on blind, was it? So they had to have something half decent, I think. So.
Really?
Well, maybe.
So Tom Banks is inviting us to make fools of ourselves here. I'm sure he is. He said, in Millengavi. Get the lads to pronounce it, Tom. Am I saying that right, or?
No, I'll go. First one to pronounce it right gets a fiver.
Well, if it was Welsh, it would have some sort of death growl in it. It would be...
That's how confident I'm. None of you still get it.
So whereabouts is this place?
It's a suburb just kind of northwest of Glasgow.
Okay.
It's basically it's the starting point of the West Highland Way. So Sure.
Okay,
So
fair
doing
enough.
that as we start off, it's just
And
going on
it's basically, it's not pronounced how any of us are going to go
It's-
with this.
No.
Oh, and we're going to lose. We lose Sam Holt in 5th place. Actually, again, that's quite unlucky again.
Oh yeah, Jeff Talbot's got it.
Oh, he's nailed it. Mill guy.
Mill guy. Yeah.
Wow. Our Rangers train there.
Yeah, so Sam unlucky there, 9
Yeah,
on
that's
a 9-ace-9 board, but Pat had Jack 9, so yeah.
Chris Iams just come in. Scottish football, we got to talk about the Sweden under-23s women's leagues next. Well, actually, that's not a bad league. That's not a bad league.
The calendars are excellent.
Please don't go there. Oh dear.
But I think there's an argument again that actually, in all seriousness, the women's Premier League has probably called itself off too soon as well, really, because they could have seen that out to a conclusion. I saw an article yesterday that it seems like everything's just been cancelled in kind of women's sport in general, which seems a little bit strange. If they're trying to kind of have a parity and play it on the same level, then why not, treat them both the same way?
Play it out, yeah. Unless there's a situation whereby they don't want a lot of players in the same sort of training area or training ground, possibly, but I'm not sure.
It does feel a bit strange why you would be different, but as I say, the trouble is the decisions are made as we're 5 to the hour, so 4 remaining players are going to be on a break here for 5 minutes.
Yeah, it could be that, because I know City women use the same training ground as the men.
Yeah.
So it could be something that simple. It has cost City, because City were leading, but didn't win the league.
Oh dear, Brommers.
Yes,
Brommers.
they did it on it. Yeah.
Brommers is in the chat box. Don't get me started on this subject. Do not get me started on this. Not at least until I know how much I've got to spend on Chanel. Oh yeah. Amen.
No, it is frustrating. I just wish it would be a kind of level playing field for these things.
It should be, shouldn't it?
It should be. Yeah, completely agree. So so this is going to be actually Adam's kind of lost a few chips now, and actually the other 3 have reasonable stacks. Blinds are 50,000, 100,000. So even Collins, the short stack here, has got 22 bigs. So
I'm not even going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Don't say it. Don't look at the chat box. Don't look. We'll have to ban them. We'll end up banning them. Don't look. Natalie, don't rise to it. Don't rise to it, Natalie.
Can you ban the current MVP?
We can take.
Yeah, we can ban. Yeah, we would.
Yeah. I've had a proposal from Steve Forty. It came in about 4 weeks ago to ban them.
Really?
So
wow, okay.
we just need a seconder.
So if you ban them, do they get other points spiked as well when they drop down the tables?
Well, we void the league. We have to void the last 10 weeks, unfortunately.
I'm reworking the spreadsheet as we speak. Yeah.
Oh dear.
So I think let me see, 215. So I'm just trying to work out whether the MVP is pretty much done. I don't think any of those remaining can impact on that. So Jeff Talbot top of the MVP, Joe Carhill second, Martin Hadfield third, Dean Pearson fourth, Richard Baker fifth, and Rob Swindell sixth. But as I say, Eat My Stack have got 3 in the top 4. D-Gens have got the 2 in the top 5. Rob from the Four Nations, I think they were third. So I'm going to guess that we are probably going to be paying down. 7th is Daniel Weaver from the Lockdown Crew. 8th is Ben Burnhill. Don't know whether anyone knows him. Don't know.
No.
Fairly new. Must be fairly new to APAT. Thank you for Jack.
No comment on Ben.
Yeah.
You must be scared of the barrel if you're paying out Ben Burnhill.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Ben, they're talking about you here. It's okay, guys. We just get back to that now. It's totally fine.
Tell him to go to bed. It's past his bedtime.
Ben, get up to bed. Yeah, it's okay. He's gone.
So I would imagine we're going to be playing a bit further down on the MVP this week, because we give out 15 prizes every week, and you can't win more than one. So we make sure we spread the $T around. So we'll work that out tomorrow. Mm-hmm. That's for sure.
I think, guys, I have my own hashtag now. It's Ask
Well,
Des.
is he? I noticed
Well,
this the other day. It's
I don't
#AskDes.
fully
He never
understand
asked-
it.
Well, he never asked you a question.
I feel
Like,
unworthy to have a hashtag. I feel unworthy,
So
I
I
have
don't
to
know.
say.
I don't know whether he feels that he puts it in when he wants to ask, but he just put #AskDes last night.
But I think
He didn't actually
sometimes,
say anything.
yeah, sometimes he just puts the hashtag in and doesn't ask a question. I don't know. He'd have to tell us. But put the hashtag first, right? And we'll answer.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Wasn't it an idea on one of the shows a few weeks ago?
oh, it might have been. I think I did say Asa Des.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't take much for me. See, I throw something out there, and that's it.
Well, if you want to change that up a bit, Ian, I'm fully supportive of the hashtag Ask Lee. Let's do that. Let's do that one. I'd feel less pressure then.
Yeah. So we've got 45 seconds back for the break, which is just enough time to give you a rundown of who we've got on the show this week. So on Tuesday, we have Matt Pitt,
that's gonna be good.
editor of
Poker
Poker
News.
News. Really looking forward to that. On Thursday, we've got Alan Horsburgh, who's off the back of a scoop, cracking scoop result a couple of weeks ago.
Lee, before you go on to the weekend, right? Alan Horse, make sure you're on for Alan's show. There's going to be some fun to be had on that show, I tell you. Don't say anything, boys. Don't spoil it.
And then on Saturday night, we have the one and only Mr. Tony Trippier on the show.
We're not worthy.
And then this time next week, we have APAT legend Vince Healy on the show to conclude the week.
It's a big old week.
Listen. I might not listen next Sunday then.
That's good if we finally manage to get Dan on.
We should get Vince and Dan on. We should
Do that.
Would that cause some sort of like, I don't know, some sort of
explosion in the ocean,
kind of time continuum sort of like thing going on.
We're going to need a flex capacitor, aren't we?
So what do we reckon then? Four-handed guys. Who are you picking? One each. Who we go for?
For Natalie, I'm going to say Adam.
Okay, Tom, I'll let you have next pick.
I'll take the random Brazilian because.
Who do you want then, Des? Do you want Colin or do you want Pav?
I'd quite like to see Colin. Get a good result here. I think he's been around all of the games, so sure, yeah. I'll take Colin.
This is Pavs for the.
Oh, there you go.
Win, so we're good.
Colin's had a lot of deep runs as well. I think he finished second when I was in the show a couple of weeks ago as well.
Yeah, Colin's back playing APAT. It's great to see him back playing.
Yeah, and he's with us in the old chat box as well here in the stream every other night, which is great.
Yeah, Vince doesn't hold the grid. You're okay, Asa. It'll be fine, honestly.
There we go. Yes.
Colin, you got Des now behind you. This is pretty much a done deal.
I'm not just Des. I'm Ask Des.
Hashtag Ask Des. So if you've got anything you want to ask the boys whilst they're on for 400
please.
If you've got anything to ask Tom or Asa or hashtag Ask Des, pop in the chat box. They'll pretty much answer most things. So whatsoever, as long as it's nothing to do with Liverpool winning any sort of trophy or anything like that. We're not
so
discussing
excited.
that.
I don't know if I mentioned it before, but it's going to be.
You are properly like
I am.
a kid at Christmas, aren't you? Yeah.
Properly excited.
Did you as a City fan? I am obviously a City fan. Did you see the Arsenal result the other day?
Yeah, they lost to somebody
Brentford.
ridiculous. Somebody like Charlton or something, 3-2.
But isn't that just like a behind closed doors friendly? Doesn't really count thing? Or not?
Oh, it doesn't count. No, it doesn't count. And who knows what the team
count.
was? I assume they played a few kids and stuff.
No, they had their full strength side out.
Did they? Oh my god!
Yeah.
Did you notice the Liverpool result?
Yep. Saw that as well.
Yeah, 6-0 against Blackburn. Looked good.
City only played between themselves. Games against, yeah, very good.
I tell you what, if you're just going to play with yourself, you're only ever going to get so far in life. You want to get out there, You know,
As soon as I said it.
among the people.
City.
So just been asked by somebody in the chat. So Tom Clark in the chat box has just said, when I'm bored at work tomorrow, can I hashtag ask Des to keep me occupied? Oh dear.
Astley,
no,
there we go. There we go. Thank you, Ian. The Warden of the Northeast. I like that. Ask Lee. Hashtag.
You can always count on Izzy, can't you? Yeah.
It's even managed to spell your name wrong as well.
That's good. That'll go even more viral now. Yeah.
To be fair to Ayers, he's probably had one or two.
I think we had Izzy on Turbo Millionaire a couple of weeks ago, and he did say, so this could be good. He said, because I have been drinking,
and he was good. I think he nailed it. He got 5, didn't he?
He nailed it. He got 5. Yeah. Got 5. Wasn't the quickest time.
No, it was about 7 or 8 minutes, but it was fine. I think we stopped for a bit of a chat halfway through.
Yeah. Come on, Pav. There we go. That's it. Put the pressure on.
In what way are you going to keep Tom occupied tomorrow then?
Hey, not too much detail now. Young Ben is still up here.
Just look, send him off with his cocoa for the night. Yeah, he'll be fine. So, I mean, seriously though, I guess it's a case of it's just when for you, Des. It's just a matter of just Liverpool, just which game it's going to be that.
Well, it feels
kind of go.
Yeah, it feels a bit that way. In fairness, I wouldn't be credible if I didn't agree with that. But part of the questions that go through your mind is, given the whole change in momentum and stuff like that, is do you get a point in the first game and then it's a bit of a struggle and. It becomes a bit ugly and what have you. I wouldn't have a problem with that. But the reality is Liverpool have been going through a really bad patch in the three of the 4 matches before the whole thing closed down. We'd actually lost 3 of them. We went out of the FA Cup, the European Cup, and we lost to Watford in the league. So, it was looking a bit ugly at that point anyway. We'd have still got there, but ugly. So who knows? Maybe they'll come out with all.
I mean,
guns
for United,
blazing.
it's been great because we were picking up some serious injuries, and we basically got everybody back fighting fit.
I think Spurs have also benefited in that front as well. Son is back from Korea, and Kane is back from injury.
Yeah, and obviously we've got Spurs' first game back on the Friday night. So, but
obviously
Rashford was the big, one for us because we thought he was done for the season. Which is why we splashed. Obviously went out and got Igalo, but
I like Igalo. I think he's done a really good job for United. I have to say.
I just think he's actually good for the squad. Sometimes you can have a player that might not be an absolute world beater, but just is good around the squad and just kind of makes everybody feel good. But it's also
he knows where the net is, right?
He's a good.
Yeah, scored a few goals. Not an easy thing to do, not an easy thing to do.
But I think I'd much rather have people playing for United that want to be there.
And
he's always come out and gone. A lifelong fan wants to be there.
If we do get our football show off the ground on Wednesday, and if it's a success, we will definitely go for the United game on Friday night because I could see that being a really interesting game. I have to say, but I still think, Lee, your manager. I don't think he's a long-term.
No, we spoke about this the other week, and as Pav gets very unlucky there with Bates, played it really well. Just a Brazilian boy there. I mean, what's he doing waking up with Queens there? Honestly,
Carnivale, eh?
Outrageous! It really is. Honestly. No, but I would agree. I've always said that he's in there doing the job that needs doing at the moment, and we'll see where that leads to.
I think he's a lovely bloke, but I'm not being condescending. I think he's highly capable, but I think where he struggles a little bit is in his, his authoritarian sort of projection and stuff. He's very gentle.
But I also think this break probably hasn't done him any harm.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because I think it's had a proper, because bear in mind he came in to do a job and all of a sudden it went really well, and next thing you know they're offering him it permanently, and and then it hasn't got, didn't go as well, and the whole thing just, it's been a bit of a roller coaster for him. And I think to get the whole squad back and have the time to work with them properly, with a fully fit squad will benefit him. So,
JP is saying, start the show at 7 p.m. next Sunday and broadcast during the Merseyside derby. Now, I love that as a suggestion. I think there would be an issue, though, because Facebook will only allow you to go for 4 hours consecutively.
Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg's got this thing about 4 hours.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but 4 hours is the magic number. So, again, if the football show works out and we can, we think it makes sense, we would definitely do the Merseyside derby on Sunday evening, and we'd do those 2 shows back to back. So 7 to 9 and then 10 onwards for the APAT show. I think that'd be the plan.
Yeah, that's not a problem to do that. But we had that situation at the counties. First time we did the counties in Manchester, and I was streaming live on Facebook Live, and we got to 4 hours, and that is a lot. And I had to redo the stream when we were heads up for the winners, so it was a bit of a nuisance. So
is that a 7 p.m. kickoff next Sunday then for the Merseyside?
7:30, I think it is. I think it's 7:30 kickoff on a Sunday night.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Sunday night football.
Well, I quite like this thing of this kind of all the games live and what. Okay, so here's a question. Here's a question for you, right? I was thinking about this the other day. Go on.
Your Pav is all in.
He's
all out.
What's that all about?
He's all out.
Oh, he's been
late.
He's been done up, hasn't he? Completely been done.
Yeah. He's been Rivaldo'd.
What's he doing getting in with Jacks here? Come on.
There's no way to play Jacks. I showed everyone how to play Jacks last night against Rob with his ace king, but no.
Meanwhile, trap 4, Colin McCarthy, still in.
Yeah, you're doing all right. So my question was this. So if you've got a round of Premier League games on like next weekend, where pretty much they're all at different times, what would you guys do with your footy accumulators?
You'd have to play. You'd have to play ahead.
Would you choose to pick your games, your results, and go right? I'm locked in, or do you pick your first game and then decide whether you want to roll it forward?
You can't do that, can you?
But it's no different, is it? Because they're all at different times. Whereas normally your football accumulator is 3 o'clock on a Saturday.
Yeah, but you need to if you're going to have an accumulator with 4 games in it, for example, so a full card of Saturday games, you're obviously going to have to put that in before game 1 starts. So no difference.
But why? Because you can do that manually yourself. So you can offer yourself the option to cash out at any time you like.
Oh, right. Well, you try and avoid cashing out if you can.
But there is
a way you can do it on Betfair and stuff. You can because there are different kick-off times after each leg, you can then lay off one leg.
But if you're not getting any better odds by putting an accumulator on, why would you not do them all as individual bets and then after each game? Yeah. You've already decided what the results are, because this is unusual with all these every single game at a different time. So you could do a 10-match accumulator on the Premier League games, but put it on as a single bet, and if that wins, then you make a decision whether you want to then carry that on or whatever.
You probably will find though, like the Sky Bet and Paddy Pill will have enhanced accumulator offers.
Oh yeah,
so
you will get better.
Doing,
I would imagine you'll get bets, bonuses and stuff.
But of course, then what you're getting is you're also hitting. If you do them individually, you're obviously hitting more bets. If you're on a thing where some of them do the things where if you bet, so much in the week, you get a bonus and that kind of thing as well.
Yeah.
So, whereas you wouldn't get that with a standalone accumulator, but you would get that if you kept on putting it on.
Betting the singles, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice hand. All those 7s. So quietly, Adam Bromley has suddenly put himself back into a very strong position.
Yeah.
Yeah, so blinds are 70,000, 140,000. So the guys are down to. Well, actually, Colin's still got sort of what's he got? 20 bigs. It's a decent stack. Still a decent stack, isn't it? And the trouble is when you have someone that's got a big chip lead like this now with Adam, it's quite difficult when you're the shorter stack. You think I need to do some, but actually you've still got 20 bigs. You've got a little bit of play there.
And it'll be one of those situations where Adam won't really care which one he gets heads up.
Yeah, Adam will just keep ramping up the aggression until one of these guys either doubles up or busts.
There's a threat.
Yeah, 'cause
at the
pretty much at the moment, Natalie's probably right next to him, literally clicking the raise button. Yeah, just yeah.
Or fold if it's ace 8.
Yeah. You really are. Sorry.
Either that or she's desperately trying to find where the disconnect button for the internet is.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, luckily there's no medals for this, Natalie, so you're okay, because that really would have been an issue if there'd been medals up for grabs here, and Adam had got there first, I think. So that's for sure.
Wow. Okay, here we go, guys. I have a press release. This isn't a joke, by the way. I don't think this is a joke. This is a press release. Stop press. As we have been crowned champs for the 3rd time, and I've won MVP, we've had a team meeting and decided to retire as a team. This is coming from Jeff. I'm sure we'll still play the squad games as and when we can. I know I will, but not as EMS. Been great series, but very tiring. Love the show. Well done, you and Lee. Wow, exclusive, guys. Is this the end of EMS as a squad? It sounds like it is.
It just feel like the Chicago Bulls, doesn't
it's
it?
just,
really
it's exactly.
It's
we just had Michael Jordan Talbot
yeah.
on the line. That's well, I think that's a big decision. I think they're going out on top, aren't they?
Well, I think the reality of it is, I mean, and first of all, I mean, well played to
well played to the guys.
Fantastic. And we know they'll carry on supporting the games as and when they could. But I think we're very aware that things are starting to change for people in personal circumstances and work circumstances. So we will see the squads, I think, slightly develop over the next couple of weeks. And what we always said we would do is we would take a view on it when we got to that point with lockdown, as to what we would do as Adams re-popped Colin's raise here. Decision for Colin.
I think my boy could be in here.
I don't know. It's a difficult one because it's. I don't know. Is there an ICM decision here?
His King 9 isn't looking so good now.
No. Well, the trouble is he's looking. He's guaranteed $93. It's then 127 and then 178. So, and you have got this. He is second in chips. So, and Adam's doing what obviously we've talked about on the show now, whereby you attack the middle stack. You don't want to lose the short stack, but. Obviously, with Adam's stack, he actually can just pretty much attack both of them, can't he? Really?
Yeah, at the moment, yeah.
Yeah. So Airsy's asked a question. Hashtag asked Des, hashtag asked Lee, hashtag asked the panel.
I'll tell you, I haven't seen so much hash since the 70s. It's incredible. It's like a satchel full of hash there.
So we'll put it to you guys first of all. So who do you think is going to be relegated from the Premier League? As Adam knocks out with 10s versus 3s.
Well, that was my guy. Oh, well.
I'm not sure I'd feel safe yet if I was an Arsenal fan. Ben, will you put the dog out? Sorry, lads, carry on. Just asking Ben to put the dog out.
I need to look at the table now. One I definitely think is Bournemouth. I think they'll get down.
Yeah, my local team. Yeah.
I think Norwich will.
Yeah.
Norwich as well, and
Villa.
I think Villa might shade it and step up.
Simon Law against West Ham.
Yeah.
I need to have a wee quick scan of the table and see who.
Someone like West Ham or Watford, I think.
Yeah, Watford was showing quite a bit of form just before the break. Might be difficult for them now.
Bournemouth, Norwich, and Brighton.
Ooh. You think Brighton, really? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It is quite tight down there.
Yeah, it's very tight.
Do you think it'll make a lot of difference with the teams down there not getting to play with in front of fans, which would obviously offer a home advantage? So it seems to always offer more of a home advantage when you're in a relegation battle, that more so than even when you're kind of chasing for the title of the top four. Do you think it'll make a difference?
I think it might. I think what the big thing will be is squad depth, because I've been noticing when I've been watching some of the German games that there's a lot more injuries now, and that's why they've got the kind of 5 rule. So if you've got like a bit more kind of strength and depth as compared to one of the teams running about you, you've probably got a better chance to get up than you would.
So who do we think's got strength and depth down there then?
I tell you, whatever about strength and depth, if I was a West Ham fan, I would feel worried. And I've seen them play a couple of times this season, because I think they've got more than enough strength in the team to, not fall into it. But there are serious problems at that club, the fans and the disconnect and the board and all of that stuff. And that's the sort of stuff that, I could see a Villa being skillful enough to get some points up. I could even see a Norwich being together enough as a unit to get some points, and a Bournemouth as well.
All in the call, King 8, Queen,
and done.
And it's all over.
Wow.
Adam Bromley
Wow.
picks up the final win of game.
Sorry, Natalie.
Wow. Well done. Well done, Adam.
Colin McCarthy finishes in second for
Well done.
$128, and Adam Bromley picks up the win for the quad
Well done, Adam.
squad. Saves us from probably ending up last this week. So well done, Adam. Very impressed. $178. That was good fun. Enjoyed that.
That was a
really
really
good final table.
Yeah, great final table. Lots of heavyweights in there. A good result for Adam, who'll have the bragging rights in the Bromley household for the next week at least.
He is a good friend of mine, but I thought he played that final table really, really well. Really did. That was a very impressive performance from Adam.
Yeah, no, 100% agree. So, guys, I think that's us. I have to say, the first time we did a foursome on the show, and I thought it worked very well. Really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed that foursome.
Yeah. So thanks a bunch for joining again, lads. It was absolutely great fun. Thanks to everyone out there in the real world for sticking with us through the week and tonight, and for all of your support, throughout the last 10 weeks, etc. That's a wrap for this week. The event's obviously back tomorrow as usual. Lee and I will be back on Tuesday evening with Matt Pitt from Poker News. That should be a good show. So we look forward to hearing from you guys then. Okay, that's it. Night, guys.
Cool. Night, Ben.
Fantastic.
Good night, Ben.
Lee said good night, Ben. Yeah, he's walking the dog. It's outrageous. Okay. He just won't do his chores or anything. The kid, oh my God, the difficulty. There we go, guys. That's a wrap.